Hello there, toy collectors. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around, and I am very excited to bring you this special review.
If anything, the Kim family, they're archetypes.
Which is sad, but not always a bad thing.
I'm okay, I have one.
Let's,
Juicy on the name.
Let's try though. Let's still try. We want to...
We are back. I have my script ready. I'm ready. Hello there, everyone. My name is Kevin, aka Toying Around. I'm a toy collector, toy photographer, sometimes toy reviewer, and you are watching Unboxing Thursdays. I've got a huge pile of toys right here, right there, all over there, and this stream is a weekly push for me to unbox things so that I can make space and buy more toys. But this is a weekly rap session with some of my friends in the collecting community, and we discuss all the different aspects of this hobby. You know, we all collect toys, but in our everyday lives, we do very different things. So it's really cool to learn about everybody. So thank you very much for being here. I kind of lost my voice this week, but we can get into that later. Whether you're tuning in live right now or catching up later, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like what's going on here in the channel, and leave a comment and consider subscribing. Double check if you're subscribed with the notifications on, and share wherever you can that I'm live right now. It all goes to help this channel and the almighty YouTube algorithm. So thank you so much. And also shout outs to everyone watching on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/toyingaround. Just trying to build a bigger community, reach as many people as I can. This week has been crazy. This month has been crazy. It's July. I am making a push to do 31 days of content every single day here on YouTube, whether it be a review, a video, an interview, something like that, or a live. So come check it out. I hope you're subscribed and enjoying what's going on in the channel. Shout outs to the Butter Nation and all the channel members in the chat right now. Last week, if you were unable to catch it, I had a very, very great talk with Brian Flynn, the founder of Super 7. Probably like one of the coolest conversations that I've had on this channel, and no disrespect to anybody else who's ever been on, but you know, it was just cool. I just asked questions and I could just listen to Brian chat for much longer. After this stream, go check out Toy Migos. He'll be over there chatting it up with my toy Migos, the toy friends. And next week I will have those very same Toy Migos on this stream for Unboxing Thursdays. But tonight, I have two very talented toy photographers coming to chat. You've probably seen their work on Instagram and over some places. They've transcended just social media into other areas, and I hope you guys are following them. If not, their socials are in the description below. We have Richee, you know him on Instagram as Noserain.
Yo,
Jason,
what's up?
What's going on? And Jason is at Work More or Less.
What's going on?
What's up, everyone?
How you doing?
Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, this is I've been looking forward to this actually all week. Actually, since I think you reached out maybe a couple weeks ago asking us, and
yes.
I've been stoked about jumping on.
I'm very, very excited. I could feel the excitement from you. Not so much Richee, but
Yeah.
No, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to unbox with you guys. But yeah, I think we got some cool stuff for sure.
Got some fire.
Awesome. I mean, I've mentioned that you guys are fantastic toy photographers. But you know, I guess I'll go around in case somehow people don't know you yet, or normally. Okay, Richee, you asked me beforehand. What's the deal with my intros?
Yeah, why do you get roasted so often?
So I've been doing this. This is episode 60. So, you know, thank you for being here for episode 60. It's been a while. But, you know, I normally just introduce you really briefly like I do. And then I have you kind of introduce yourself. Not introduce, but like give a little bit of background about yourself to people who might not know. So I was doing the Bad Batch with Paul and Yoko. And Paul was like, wait, you're supposed to, you know, you're the host. You're supposed to introduce me. You're supposed to have, I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, I have to have all the credentials and awards for Paul and the celebrities. I didn't know that. So I'm not in that Hollywood scene. So I had to start preparing. Like I had to start looking in his Wikipedia and stuff, and listing all his accomplishments. So that's where it started. But when he's not
you have
here,
to look up. You have to look up Richee's Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Do you have
my
one?
credentials out, man.
Do you have a Wiki? For
Nah,
Yoko's,
man.
for Yoko's, I looked it up. I was because I was actually on Wikipedia looking up Paul stuff, and then Yoko's introduction ended up being, and this next person has no Wikipedia. Here's Yoko, and then she wasn't happy with that at all.
Yeah,
No,
I wouldn't be happy with that either. But
that was
it's
not
hard
good.
to follow up Paul. I mean, at that point, you know.
And then Paul was like, the classy thing to do was to introduce Yoko first, but then my reasoning was the whole joke falls apart if I introduce Yoko first. So since then, it's gotten a little bit classier. But Richee, why don't you let people know real quick? What do you do other than take pictures? What are you into? What do you collect?
What's up, guys? So I am a designer, graphic designer by day, basically. You guys probably know me from Instagram. I do the toy photography stuff. Started out as like a collector, right? And then kind of complicated things once I turned into more toy photography focus. Started picking up stuff that I may not necessarily have bought prior, but just because you have an idea, you want to get that out. There's certain figures that you start picking up, but mostly like right now, as far as like collection wise goes, I would say I collect like Mezco stuff, Neca for sure, Neca
Nice.
turtles. Have to. I mean, they're so good. A lot of stuff, honestly. I think just over the past couple of years, I've been able to accumulate a lot of different figures that I personally, again, like I wouldn't have necessarily collected, but because of toy photography, I really started getting into, the Black Series stuff. Bought a few Marvel Legends. There's just a whole lot that I can really say honestly about all that stuff. But yeah.
Awesome, man. That's very, very cool. And Jason, what about yourself?
Where should I start? No, I mean, toy photography has been something that a lot of us, I would say, in the community have kind of, some of us who have been doing it for a while, like around 2015 is kind of when I got wind of toy photography and something
Right.
I like on Instagram. And so 2016 is when I started my account and started posting, but it's really right now, it's kind of more of a hobby based thing. Been able to do some collaborations, like official ones, which has been great.
Right.
But during my basically like my day job, I own my own business called Invisible Element, and I do design, animation, motion graphics, illustration, all kinds of stuff, mostly commercially.
Awesome.
But that's what keeps me busy. And then when I'm able to, I make time and try to make as much time as I can for hanging out with toy community on Instagram, or this type of stuff, and collecting toys. Star Wars is kind of one of my first loves as far as like what I like to shoot, what brought me into the hobby.
Right.
But turtles, just like what Richie was saying, I love Ninja Turtles as a kid. He-Man as a kid, I'm not collecting He-Man really right now, but definitely a lot of those IPs I'm very, very fond of. So.
But there's a new show coming out, so you might be tempted by all that new merch.
I saw all of it today.
All of it, not just you saw every single one.
Everything I saw in the store today, and I was tempted. And I thought, I'm going to wait and see what's out there. I really been tempted to pick up at least He-Man and the Mattel He-Man and Skeletor, like the old retro play ones, but just haven't done it yet. So those look really cool.
Cool. I mean,
Yeah, Jason was this close. He was so close.
I sent Richie pictures.
Yeah, he's like, "Should I buy these?" And I was like, "Did I told you to buy them, right?" And you're like, "You're not helping." No, that was
Probably.
the other thing.
The other thing, yeah.
I would have told you to buy them too. Good thing you didn't ask me.
I know, right?
I'm a bad influence, honestly.
Oh,
I see something, and I instantly just send it to people who honestly don't need to buy it right now. But then I'm just like, "You need this right now," and then.
And that's why we're friends. No.
Yes, you're welcome, man.
Oh, here, I got something for you.
Always. Enabler. I think we all are in some way, even with a lot of the shots that we create of figures and IPs that we love, and as toy photographers, we create these shots. In some respects, we're showing our own love for those IPs, and it kind of, that is visible in our work. And so when people, see some of our shots, a lot of times we'll get DMs. I know Richie and I have talked about it, where they'll just say, "Oh man, I am going to get this figure because of how you shot it." And
Right.
that's really cool to see that this kind of the creativity and stuff that we've got through our photography or whatever it is, design, whatever, to see that and people pick up on it. And in some respects, they're like, "Oh, you made that thing look cool. I'm now going to buy it." So.
Yeah, and I'm sure companies see the value in that. Obviously, you're enabling on your own to be like, "Hey, I can use this." But there's that happens to me a lot. Not inspiring someone with my shot, but like seeing a shot that these really great photographers do, like, "Oh, I need that. It looks so good," and then I buy it, and I'm like, "This doesn't look the same." This is
False advertising.
It's like flip the table.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same lighting.
Yeah, it didn't come with the same shot and the same angles. Real quick, I want to thank everyone who's out watching tonight. We have Toy Rensu in the house. He is the top prize winner. He's won a lot of trivia and giveaways, so he pays attention. He told me, he's like, "I wish I did this well in school." That's freaking awesome. We have Matt R of the Butter Nation. What's going on? King Megacon, Tommy K. How you doing? Happy Thursday. Courtney's in the house. Vern. Oh, a lot of my fellow Canadians. Win or lose. There we go. All Canadian people. A streak of 4. So that rarely happens unless it's here. Paul Morales. How's it going? Matt Logic 44. 796 Studios. What's going on, Mario? Thank you for subscribing on Twitch, even though we both have no idea what's going on Twitch. That's a young man's game. Sean Reed. High School Creations. What's going on? Marcus Yee, Jason, that's Jason. Blainer Things. Dude.
Sup, Blaine?
Blainer.
If everyone or anyone watched the Neca reveal or the Neca con this week, Blaine killed it.
He did.
Blaine crushed it. I'm so proud.
Was it like
so good?
An hour, and it was, all those reveals. It was an incredible event. And then he went live afterwards because he just couldn't get enough of it. That hats off to you, Blaine.
Yes. Blaine, you did a great job, man. I'm
hell yeah.
It's cool that you're representing NECA. I mean, all of us, for years have loved the brand, including yourself, obviously. And so to see you kind of be the face of NECA for Comic-Con is stinking awesome. So,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Darth Gutierrez says, "Thank you for your channel, Kevin. Your channel makes my day a little that's nice. A little bit better."
I agree with that too.
That's awesome. Thank you. KJ Smith. Good Boy Collectibles, welcome back. Haven't seen you in a while. Toy Malarkey. Omar Vasquez, welcome back. A awesome member of the Butter Nation. Mobile Recluses here. Omega Weapon 13. Noserain. Monkey 29 DNA. And
who's Noserain? Noserain.
Just some random viewer, I guess, in there.
He's watching, so he's cool. Nodnarb 101. Courtney says, "Sucks to be Canadian and a TMNT collector right now.
Yeah.
I spine Ultra Foot, and we have yet to see the Krang.
Yep.
Krang.
Oh, autocorrect. From one comic fictitious character to another. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
796 Studio says, "You're an enabler for sure." Trevor, welcome. Will there be any weighing tonight?
Shooter. What's up, buddy?
Oh, I brought my scale back upstairs. Furious D36 says, "Jason, Richie, it's Rodney. What's up?"
Yo, Rod.
What's up, Rodney?
Big Tasty says, "Hey, y'all," in a Cleveland voice. I can't do a Cleveland voice. I can't even do my own voice right now. I spent last Sunday yelling at a pitcher in my baseball game, and I lost my voice, which wasn't great for someone who wants to do content for the remaining
single day of
11 days of the month. So Rasper says,
might be able
Kevin,
to get that
Which
Jason voice. The Jason voice. If you start yelling, it gets deeper. You know.
Yeah.
Jason has an amazing radio voice that he needs to be creating this type of content like all the time, so we can just listen to his voice.
Yeah,
Jason hears us all the time though from us. But everyone agrees. I'm pretty sure.
I do a lot of
voiceovers.
You should do voiceovers, Jace. For real.
If
I'm gonna hire you.
Okay, there we go. Hey, as long as there's money involved, I'm ready.
No money involved.
Welcome
Just do
to
it for free.
Unboxing Thursdays. Give me one of those.
Unboxing Thursdays.
Jeez, you know what I'm saying right there? One take. That's all it
Comics
takes.
1017 plastic predicaments. All right, let's get to the toys. I know Jason was using this as an excuse to buy more stuff, and I love it. I will take that ownership. You got to say to your family, like, I have to buy these. I got to go toy hunt. I'm going to be on Unboxing Thursdays.
I have to. I don't have anything that's not unboxed in this space. So I need to buy new stuff, basically, right?
My whole thing is I have to open all this stuff that I've already bought. You guys are like, I gotta go buy new stuff to go open it. 80s babies in the house. What's going on? He says, is that a turtle poster or the back of the Playmates package?
Yes. This is a good friend, Chris Lee. The Beast is back, and it's an awesome piece. So he's been working on this kind of like a compendium piece, and this is also another really good friend, Tony Bowie.
Oh, nice.
Technodrome.
They both are good friends. We've had them. We do live stream. We've had them on a couple times, or we've talked with them. Had Tony, but yeah, this is just a bunch of characters from the Playmates backing and card backs, and they're awesome. So Chris Lee, the Beast, is back. He's amazing.
Do you reorganize your display? I feel like this is very different from your usual Thursday thing.
Well, it's got to be special, right? For coming on to your show. No, I mean, I think I've got so much, like, I kind of reorganized everything during the pandemic last year and built some like shelf space for storage, and then got some, display cases and things. And so I've got a decent amount of space. And when I go live or whatever, it's kind of fun to just rearrange things, or depending on what we're talking about. Then kind of rearrange and put new things out. So
that's this area right here, depending on like the guest or if it's a special event. It's almost like the backstop behind the home plate where they just put advertising.
All right, free advertising.
So I usually just switch it up a bit. So what have you got to open tonight?
So I've got a few things, but I think the main thing, well, a couple of things.
Let us know what you see and what you want Jason to open first. We got that.
Okay. Yeah. So this right here, obviously, a couple of friends in the chat kind of referenced it. This is now hitting shelves, and so it's the cartoon foot soldier alpha. I guess. Well, it's whatever you want to call it, the deluxe with all the stuff. The ultimate. Yeah. So this is a really cool. I actually found this in store today. I kind of on a whim. I was like, I'm going to go get some lunch, check out Target, and came across 3 of these. So I bought one for my buddy, and then I've got this one to unbox. So we could do that.
Nice.
And then the other thing, I actually haven't really opened this. This is from the 2020 exclusive, the Mutagen Tour. I haven't opened it for some reason. So I've got that. Would be kind of fun.
For a whole year?
Yeah, I know, right? And then also, I was talking with Richee a while ago, and he was really surprised about all the like my original toys and things. And
is that an original?
And not unboxing. I mean, this is not anything that special, but this right here.
Yeah, Boba Fett's not that special. You're right.
Yeah, not those. You can get those for like $3 or something nowadays. But this here was something that I bought when I think this is like 97. Yeah, 1997. And I collected these, like the Micro Machines and these little play sets. And we got quite a few of them that I've got opened, and they're actually in the other room. But this would be fun. I have not opened it. It's still sealed from 97. See, you can still see the tape on there.
Wow.
I thought that might be kind of fun and unique. It still has a little bit.
I think Micro Machines needs to make a comeback because they're collectible, they're fun, they're retro. Toy photographers can use them, mix them up in their shots. For a lot of stuff. So, I don't know. Are they still around? I don't know who owns the license.
They are still around. I know they've made like the small vehicles. I don't know if they made like licensed product again,
right.
But
as far as like the Star Wars stuff, I haven't seen, but the regular, like their vehicles that they made, like Richie was saying, I saw those today.
I think I might have seen some when, the sequel Star Wars movies, like those came out. I think they made a few different play sets and stuff.
That's right. That wasn't Micro Machines, though, was it? Or was it?
Was it not?
Don't remember.
I don't know. I thought they were, just because they were at that scale and they.
Yes.
I found this from back.
Are those the Rangers? Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I used to have those too.
I don't know where I put the Rangers, but I used to use them as target practice for my Nerf guns and my elastic guns.
Yes.
Of course.
But they would look great, in front of a Megazord or something right now. And then they had these three on the bike in the same set as well. And I still have the box. It's
So good.
So nostalgic for real. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna open that. That's already open and stuff is missing. Richie, what have you got? I think for Jason, people in the chat wanted to see some of that that foot soldier and the turtle set. Let's see what Richie's got.
So I have 2 items that I would like to open. I mean, I have more, but 2 that I would like to open with you guys. So the first one is a pretty recent pickup. I was excited about this figure like when they announced it. So I was super stoked to actually find it when I went to Target. And that is the Frankenstein that NECA put out. Saw this in store and I was like, oh yeah, definitely need to pick this up. But yeah, we'll get into it. But the camera's over here. All right. Yeah.
You know what's funny, Richie? I picked up something today too.
Did you? Oh, yes. You can't open that one because I'm open.
I'm not. I'm gonna let you. Open it.
No, you should do it at the same time and see
who can open it the fastest.
Live react. Well, yeah, I guess that too. No, I don't want anyone to hurt themselves. What's your second item?
Yeah, the second item, as you saw me carried it across my room with tremendous trouble, is
Oh my gosh!
Whoa!
Get out of here!
Nice.
Life size, the child.
That's amazing.
Hot Toys.
Picked this up. When was it? Definitely a couple weeks ago. Or was it a month ago? I don't know. I've been sitting on this, but yeah, I'm excited to get into this one for sure.
What do you normally do with your stuff after you open it? And I'm not judging, but I noticed you don't have like shelves full of things behind you. Is that another room, or is Jason just showing off?
Jason's always showing off, like, no doubt. No, for me, I don't really I mean, I have a few things that I'll display on like some of these like cubes and things, but most of my stuff, because I think most of my collection of figures that I've that I have, they're essentially like bagged up and then placed in like more like these containers, so it's not like how you guys have a nice little display for your figures to stand on the shelves and stuff. But yeah, that's essentially where they go, the graveyard of the container with everyone else.
The storage,
essentially.
To be fair, you
did in a different room though.
You did move recently too.
I did, but it doesn't matter. All right, they're still gonna be in those containers.
All right. Well, if anyone cares what I have,
I do. I want to know.
I went out and I bought shout outs to Toy Rensu, who hid this for me yesterday or the day before at Toys R Us. They were 20% off and he hid it behind the ukuleles in the musical section at Toys R Us.
Perfect.
I like the most unpopular section in Toys R Us or something.
Probably. Yeah. Those are the same ukuleles from 6 years ago that when I was working there. So,
oh, wow.
They were 20% off, but the sale ended yesterday. But they left the sign up, so I was still able to get like, hey, the sign's there. I got to get that discount. They were happy to do it. So
I used to work here.
Nice. I know how. No. That's the last straw. That's you don't want to play that card. Mike says 20% off Asian win. Yes, 20% off when the sale is over.
That's impressive.
Dang.
That's something to call home about. Be like, no, Dad, guess what? I have this Lightning Collection SPD Green Ranger that is not here yet in Canada, but Dario, shout outs to Dario from the Toy Migos, helped me pick this up, send it up here. And then 2 weeks ago, I did an unboxing with Geeky Fresh, and I opened some Power Rangers Zeo, green and red. So EB Games, which is Canadian GameStop, has this on clearance last week. And if we have more time, I have these two.
Yeah.
Which
classics
look fantastic. They have the box art on the side, which is why I don't want to open it, because it's so beautiful. It's
the Alex Ross artwork, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't want I don't want to throw those out. I'm committing to throwing it out once I unbox it. So these are backups, I guess you could say.
Do you want to keep those in the box just so you can keep the box, or do you want to actually open them?
I do, because I already have Cap open.
Okay, yeah.
My process, I guess, of working through this is like, if I really like the box art, I'll find an image of it online.
Yeah.
Find a poster or something, print it out, and put it on the wall.
Yeah.
But then I never end up doing it. So I'm like, well, then might as well get rid of the boxes. So it's like it's a process. It's like steps. It's like AA, but for.
I mean, the other thing you could do is just cut out the art off the box, and then you've got that piece.
That's too much work.
Nah,
that'll never.
That's too much work.
That'll never fly. I'm probably gonna go with SPD Green. That's the one I'm most excited about. I think the chat said they wanted to see some of that foot soldier action. I know Richee's got to be excited for. I mean, both of your things look fantastic, dude.
Yeah,
I'm excited, man.
We could spend like a whole hour just looking at that Mando, I think, or the Grogu.
The Grogu
looks awesome.
Yeah,
I told Richee earlier. I said, if you unbox that here, that means I'm going to really want to purchase that and own it myself, and I don't need to spend that kind of money.
Have you not seen like any review or anything for that figure?
I have,
yet,
but you having it will
just
be different.
me having it. Okay, got it.
Because you're an
influencer.
Yeah, you're an influencer.
No. You know, you two, you usually do a Thursday night IG chat, and you know, I wanted to have you guys on, but the dates, you know, they kind of coincided, and it was super cool of you to be like, you know what, we'll just both jump onto YouTube and we'll just kind of do it there. Why don't you tell everyone about that IG chat, you know, how it started, how long you've been doing it?
Richie, go for it.
How did it start, Jace?
You picked the guy who's
yeah.
How did it start? I feel like Jason would have a better idea, but honestly, I think Jason and I just have these really good conversations offline, and I want to say it kind of started from that, where, you know, we have these conversations, and then afterwards we're like, man, we should like talk about this like on live or something like that. So I have a feeling it started there. And then we wanted to make it, you know, more consistent. And I think we just have like different ideas that we want to get out there. And we're interested in even jumping to YouTube to kind of expand and really get in depth into some like topics that we'd love to talk about. But yeah, I think going live on IG has kind of just been like the starter, like feeling it out. Like, you know, it's been really fun though, for sure. Just, you know, of course.
Did you guys like meet on, it sounds weird, did you guys meet each other through Instagram and then just start chatting about, is it like work, like photos, taking photos, toys, like what's usually discussed, or all of it?
All of it. I mean, we met, I think like a lot of the people in the community met through Instagram, and just with photos and just organically like DMing or commenting on each other's pictures. You know, I think that's kind of where a lot of the friendships and things have kind of started. Rich and I, we've known each other, man, probably since 2016,
2017.
Mm-hmm. And kind of just through that organically. But then like myself, I mean, Richie, myself, Plastic Action, Jax, Switpix, Spencer, Wit, and then what's the other guy's name?
Bloxers or something.
Isaiah Takahashi.
Just kidding.
So the five of us, we've actually spent some time, like when we've been to Comic-Con the last couple of years when it actually was happening. We got to hang out and actually spend time together. And since then, we've been just kind of keeping up and, in a sense, kind of like talking daily in kind of our group chat, and, you know, each of us kind of individually in other chats too. And I think just that constantly talking about things like, oh man, some of the conversations we get into are really, really, for all of us, I think we glean stuff from them. And so just like what Richie said, a lot of times we're like, man, this would be really good to share with people. Right. Or it might be topics that people are asking or that's being discussed in the community that we can just kind of, you know, like it or not, we can just talk about like our perspective on certain things. And so I know as far as like kind of getting a routine of doing the Instagram lives, I started during COVID in 2020. Just doing, I was like, hey, I'll bring friends on and we'll do interviews and just for fun.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm still having like that community that I'm totally missing, like being at home. So started doing that on Thursdays, and Richie jumped on, of course. And, it's really, as you know, like, I don't know how you're doing this like every single day, like being so consistent, but I'm super impressed.
Yeah.
Everybody's got really busy schedules. And so just trying to say, okay, let's set aside one day and jump on and just interact, and did that for a while. And it was so fun. And you kind of continue to do that. And Richie and I have been pretty consistent with being available. And so we're like, let's just keep doing it and see what happens. So,
yeah. I mean, you have your own business. So it's not like once business hours are over, that's it. I'm going to, you're probably constantly thinking about stuff, what you have to do and other things, or working late, family and all that. So that's why I'm only doing this for 1 month of everyday content. And it's okay. It's work, because I work for a company. So like at the end of the day, it's just like, go tuck my chair in, and then I head up to the room, play with the kids. That's it. So
it's a lot of work.
A little bit easier.
I mean, what you're doing right now is way more involved than what we're doing just on, on Instagram Live on Thursday. And so, I mean, I honestly, like, commending you for the discipline and just like the challenge of doing this daily for this month, and having so much really rich, interesting content. You're keeping it very interesting and engaging. And so it's actually really inspiring. So hopefully that gives you a little bit more gas to like continue out the month.
Well, this is the final stretch. Thank you for that, because that's a nice little segue into, oh, look at that. I have pictures ready. Every day for a month, I'm only going to get more slightly professional. This is the schedule of everything that's happened so far. I figured it was easy if I had all the Thursdays locked down and all the Mondays locked down already. I just had to figure out stuff, pepper it in between. And then, SDCC month, there's going to be new toys, new events, a lot of stuff being revealed. And I mean, I think it's cool what you guys are doing. It's your take on things. I've come to realize that like the people who follow you want to hear what you have to say about it. So it's not necessarily like, oh, so-and-so bought this figure first already a month ago, so nobody wants to hear me talk about it when I have it. Maybe not. The few people who want to hear what I have to say, that's that. And then if you guys go on to your live streams, definitely you have your own twist and your perspective. So, that's definitely, everyone should do their own thing. And sharing your conversation, of course, it is entertaining, because a lot of people probably share some of the same thoughts, or I found on social media, people don't really have anybody else to talk to about things like this.
Right.
So seeing other people have that conversation, they have a space to be like, oh, cool, there's other people who are into this. Not everybody has been on IG for so long collecting toys and posting about toys. Maybe they have their personal Instagram. They're like, oh, I don't want to flood it with, my personal feed with toys and this, and people are going to think I'm weird or whatever. Just there's this huge thing. And, just putting it out there for people to find, I think it's just a cool community. You are building a community of people who are comfortable to talk about all these things. So, and what I found from the last, this episode 60 is just so many people, people who come on, either they work with toys, different aspects, making dios, making customs, making props, it just brings a whole different conversation week after week. So I think it's super fun. I say all the time, it's for me to learn and to entertain myself, but the same way that you're doing it, if other people, might be interested in hearing it, that's something you can put out there.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
It's so fun to see the diversity of people in the community, and specifically right now talking about like toy photography community. But I would say even with Richie and I being designers, I was really more in kind of like the designer, illustrator, motion designer kind of Instagram kind of space.
Okay.
For a while. And, a lot of the people, like the artwork and stuff that I collect, I knew them before I started jumping into toy photography. And so it's cool because what Richie and I both are really passionate about is not only just toy photography, but also just design in general. because that's kind of what we do. We're creatives. And so it's really interesting to see that there's so much potential for like cross pollination between either communities or things like that, with even Instagram and the diversity of people who collect toys. And Spencer Witt, our good buddy, he's a lawyer, right?
Oh, cool.
We're designers, and so it's just cool that it's kind of a way for all of us to kind of meet at a kind of a neutral zone that we probably wouldn't have met in real life.
It's almost like a little clubhouse where you have it's like a club that you meet for that one thing, and then you go back to your regular lives. Or it's like Hydra. There's somebody planted in like every different job.
That's probably more like Hydra, yeah.
Oh man.
No, this is our real life, and that's our not real life, guys.
That's the alter ego.
Batman. It's like Batman. Batman is the real dude. Yeah. Bruce Wayne is the other.
Bruce Wayne is the mask. That's what Alfred always tells him.
Like, I just want to know what variant I am right now. That's what I need to know.
No, you're the real one, man.
You're the real one.
Who's to say?
I'm gonna get to this SPD Green Ranger.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Let's go.
Today there was a lot of launches. Well, the last few days, because this week is SDCC, and people in the chat have been talking already about the NECA Turtles launch today. Jason, you obviously big into turtles based on everything we see behind you. Did you grab anything today?
It's funny. I got the 4-pack. I secured that, so that's nice. I'm really excited about that. What's kind of nice I would say in some respects, there's so much now that you can collect as far as like where they're getting kind of deeper into that line, the cartoon line specifically, that I feel like there's some that I could probably pass on. But as soon as if I see them in stores, I'm probably going to pick them up because I've been doing that. But no, I got the 4-pack. I'm really excited about that. Again, because they're so obscure. But I think the really cool thing about that is all the accessories that come along with it. So like the cameras, I think there's some other things like maybe like a boom mic and some other stuff like that, just as props that could be used for a ton of other like toy shops. Let alone movies themselves. For the box was cool too. Yeah, that was one thing. I talked to Blaine after he did the reveals, and we saw the packaging and how it actually unfolds out. He was just saying how he was super blown. I mean, obviously he works there, but he was just blown away by how they're trying to take the packaging and make it more than just cardboard that you're going to throw away. So how do you make something that you can use as like a diorama or a set piece or a background, like in your display case? And so the fact that opens out, I mean, they did it with the last year's Comic-Con exclusive with the Mutagen tour, made it kind of like a stage too. But really cool designs. Yeah, that's a whole different set of engineering too, right? Yeah. To figure out how that box unfolds and make sure all the designs fold up nicely. Mm-hmm. I tried to get on today. I was on right at 1 o'clock. I picked up a set for Good Boy Collectibles because he messaged me early ahead of time. He's like, I won't be able to do it. Are you getting one? If not, do you mind helping me pick it up? I'm like, yeah, no problem. I bought the international one, added it to cart. It told me it doesn't ship to my province. Like, this is crazy. I bought from Neca before. Like, really? Yeah. So, I went to Twitter. I'm like, Neca, are you not shipping to Canada, to Ontario? And then Dan Hu and some people in the UK were like, oh, yeah, I'm having the same issue. I can't check out the international one. Vern in the chat, I think, had the same issue. So I was trying to buy the large T, and then eventually that one sold out. So then I went for the XL, and then all of a sudden, after like half an hour, it worked. So it was just a weird little process to get through. Yeah. I mean, that's what really stinks. I mean, I feel for you guys who aren't in the States trying to get this stuff, because I mean, it's hard enough just trying to find things in stores, just being, having Targets down the road. And so the fact that like you guys are trying to get this stuff, and even just buying online, even internationally, there's still problems. I know NECA's they're actually doing a lot to try to make that easier, right? Yeah. In general, and in the past, that pre-order was fine. It was just today there was that glitch. Yeah, that's good. But either way, like, there's something about actually going to the store. Like today when I ran into that, it's just like that excitement, right? And so I always feel bad because I've got plenty of friends who live outside the States, and if I find something, if I know somebody's looking, I'll try to look for them too, even if I've got it.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's so nice to see stuff like in hand too, like before
Yeah.
you even buy it, and just appreciate the packaging, because like we live in like a digital pre-order type of world right now. So yeah, just like being able to stumble on a figure that you're actually hunting for is like different. Like me finding this Frankenstein in person was like it was awesome, because you can like check the QC and all that and find the best one you want as
Exactly.
well.
I looked at all three of those foot soldiers and to make sure, like, okay, which one has the best paint after any mess ups. Blaine, he just said that the international glitch, but it was everyone, so no one lost stock. Thank goodness. So that's good. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, nice. Thanks, Blaine. Again, it's not like a ongoing issue. NECA has always been smooth, and it's cool that they open it up for international, because distribution of NECA turtles and NECA stuff in general in Canada is very, very delayed.
Oh yeah, we're still waiting. I mean, with last year too. I mean, we're waiting on some of the pre-orders and things. I know that there's just been a lot of issues across the board, not just with NECA, but everybody else too. So it's been a challenge, but it's just nice, especially when they put up those 2-week pre-orders. That releases so much, like for some people, like stress and anxiety. Not saying that's me, but sometimes. So the fact that they're available and you can snag them and not have to worry, like that's really, really great that they're able to do that, and also have like the international listing too.
Big thank you to AI's Collectibles. Thank you for the super chat. He says, "Congrats on keeping up the daily content, brother."
Yeah, man.
Great stuff. Can't wait to see what is in store for the rest of the month. Yeah, I got a lot of work to do still, but hopefully it will be enjoyed. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support. I'm looking to get. Do you guys know what Loop Deck is?
Loop Deck?
Yeah. So it's this panel with a whole bunch of buttons, and I think it's used mainly. The main one was for photography and editing, and then there's all these like Photoshop and Lightroom shortcuts all in one keyboard, and there's dials and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they made a new one that's kind of geared towards that and content creators, where you can control different apps, Spotify, Streamlabs, OBS, and all that stuff. Because you can just plug it in, go into Lightroom, and then using the dials, you can just start turning it for all your different
highlights and
that's pretty nice.
Contrast,
shadows. So instead of mouse and dragging it on the little bar, or using numbers, and it has that. And I'm trying to get one of those. Cool.
Yeah, it's like a little more intuitive and it seems fun. Like you're a DJ or something.
So you're just like
scratching.
Yeah. Cut, edit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cut all your videos.
Saturation. Yeah.
I mean, technically, it's kind of the same thing. If I was doing a live stream, I can just preset one of the buttons to play a song or switch to something else, and then I'm just on cue. I'll just press whatever.
Sound effects.
If I mess up, yeah, exactly. I can have a GIF pop up or sound effects, soundboard. If I screw up, I can just press this instead of having to set it up with my mouse.
That would be really nice to have, and also, just kind of having the quick keys and stuff. I think it'd be pretty sweet.
And I mean, there are shortcuts in Lightroom and Photoshop, but then if you don't use it every day, I feel like you'd forget like what each letter did inside the application.
That's true.
How did you guys get into toy photography? Just seeing everyone else take pics.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, man.
Okay. I think a lot of our stories in the community are kind of similar, or at least aligned in some respects. I was going to say the first thing that I recall was like jumping on Instagram, even as I didn't have my like Work More or Less account, but as my Invisible Element account, just seeing like this kind of crossover between design, illustrators, people who are creating toys, like designer toys, and then like photographing them for like either promotional shots, things like that. And it just kind of ended up kind of crossing over into toy photography is like kind of hashtags and things. And at the time, at like 2015 is when The Force Awakens, was like hitting the theaters, and that kind of like reinvigorated my love for collecting, and I was collecting like the Black Series just kind of casually at the time. But then when they really announced Force Awakens and started doing the whole new wave of figures, it's like, oh man, this is cool. And then seeing Matt over at Star Wars The Black Series post toy photos that were just like mind blowing. You know, Sergeant Bananas being one of the original OGs, seeing his shots. You know, tons of those guys. We can name like everybody, but really just that was kind of like the one account where I felt like it was really just pulling in all of these really amazing toy photographers. And around the time, you know, Star Wars was just huge, and it kind of just brought me back into collecting, as well as learning how to use a camera. So because I worked in did a lot of post production and then also production as well. So I understood the concepts of like knowing how to composite, knowing how to do green screen like type stuff. But as far as being behind a lens, taking photos, taking video, it was still kind of foreign to me. So I bought my Canon 6D at the time and was just learning how to shoot and had the toys and was like, man, I'm going to try this. So that's kind of what got me into it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Richie, were you into like working with photography, cameras and stuff before all this? Or you one of the same path?
Yeah, I had a DSLR already. I had the T3i, and like the nifty 50, like the 50 millimeter lens that's
you
really
guys
affordable.
Opening stuff too.
Oh yeah, true. Jason, go ahead, dude. While I talk, you can go ahead.
Oh, are we not like? Is this like? I always.
Are we taking turns?
Like,
or are we just opening
like,
it?
Like Christmas? Does everybody take a turn?
Open it whenever. Again, there's no format. There's no structure. There's no rules.
Well, I want to see what your opinions are on the Malcolm figure, because I've got that and I'm curious what you think.
All right, I'm gonna let Richie. I want to hear what Richie has to say. This thing first.
I don't think anyone cares. Actually, I probably said this like a billion times.
I've said many times. This is just for me, and everyone here is free to absorb this information. Also,
yeah. I already owned like a DSLR and stuff when I first started. I was kind of into like videography. Like a friend of mine at the time, like we would music videos, like for him. But yeah, I dabbled in photography a little bit, but not a whole lot at that point. But I think having that 50 nifty, like that 50 millimeter lens, really kind of made me want to shoot more, just because like I think at the time a lot of people, you know, they did the shallow depth of field thing where it's like blurring the background and it just makes photos like look super nice. So like I think having that look was just something that drew me to want to do more photography. But I would say like I jumped into toy photography like once I saw, I guess if I go back a little bit, I knew about toy photography already. I knew about like ACBA and stuff just because I collected toys back then too. But then I followed, like Jason mentioned, Sergeant Bananas was one of the, I guess, photographers that I saw back then that just made the photos or the figures look super cinematic. He was doing a lot of different
Johnny
effects.
Pay both of you to name drop him as
we don't talk about that, but
but he's expensive. Yes.
Is the going rate still the same as it was before?
No, it's definitely gone up much higher.
Yeah, gotta get that Loom Cube, you know.
Loom Cube coin for sure. But yeah, seeing his stuff, like I was just amazed by his work, but it didn't necessarily like push me to want to try it myself, because I almost felt like unapproachable, if that makes sense. Like I think the way that he was doing it, the practical effects, I was like, I have no idea how to even start. So I just appreciated it from like the outside, you know. I was just like a fan of his work and stuff. And then I think at the time I also collected like Nendroids and stuff too, just like a specific characters. And then back then it was more like collecting figures that represent characters that I like. And so I was very like picky at what I wanted to pick up. I think Good Smile and just Figma in general, I thought they, you know, make good figures of like anime figures and stuff. So I would pick up, you know, things from them, but it was specifically the Pokemon Red Nendroid. I don't know if you're familiar, but
nice.
Captain Dangerous. Do you guys know Captain Dangerous? I know Jason knows Captain Dangerous, but she photographs Nendroids I don't think exclusively, but back then she definitely took photos with Androids and Figma. But the way that she took them, like she took photos like outside, like outdoors, and because her photos had that like shallow depth of field, I think it was that sort of connection with like, oh, I have a lens that can kind of make a similar look. So it, to me, it kind of felt like I could jump into it a little easier, take a figure outside, you know, just like try it out myself. And so that's kind of how I jumped into that. And I was like, oh, this is really cool. And I made a couple photos from there. I think it was like June, like in the summer. It's when I kind of, you know, made an account. And it's funny because like the account didn't start as Noserain. It started with a different name. It was like Cloudy or something because I loved like clouds and stuff. I know that's weird, but yeah, it started out as that, and then took like a hiatus of literally like a year, maybe over a year, and it was like 2017 in February when I was like, it was kind of based on this mindset of doing something consistently for a year and then seeing what comes of that. And so
Right.
like yeah, I'm like a huge fan of Kobe Bryant. And so it was kind of like having that his Mamba mentality of just trying to get better every single day type of thing in something. And that was kind of combined as well. So that's why I created Noserain, or changed the name to Noserain, because in Korean, nose is ko and rain is P. So if you put them together, it's Kobe. And so yeah. And so like it kind of started there. And so like I think the motivation to do something consistently, doing it every single day, posting a new photo every day, even if, you know, I didn't feel like necessarily doing it, it's kind of started that way. And so it was really fun. And I think in the beginning when I jumped in, it was it's not like I felt burnt out, because it was just something new and something that, you know, I wanted to improve on. And so just meeting everybody, that's the other thing. It's like jumping into toy photography. I think the aspect that I didn't really consider, I guess, was the friends that I would have made and the community that was there, you know?
Yeah.
I think that was like, yeah, the thing that really kind of keeps you there, because you start to make these friends, you have these conversations, and you get to talk about the things that you're passionate about, you know, and the things that you love, and you realize, oh, a lot of these people feel the same way, or,
Right.
you know, you can enjoy like, yeah, the toy photography together, but also grow in that aspect. So like Jason, I've known since 2017, you know, pretty early on. And I believe it's because of those like feature pages, like Star Wars, the Black Series.
Yeah.
You get to get introduced to, you know, all the different talented toy photographers. And then, you know, you like comment on their photo, and then you kind of, you know, jump into their DMs and talk to them about how they did a certain shot, or, you know, what inspired them to do certain things. And yeah, I think starting out it wasn't necessarily like, I don't know. I think I was just motivated to try something and see what I can get to in like a year or however long it took.
Nice. And I mean, both of you have had, you know, pretty good successful runs so far in toy photography. You know, where are some of your photos, where people might have seen them? Is that a dog?
Yeah, it's my dog, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think both of us, we've got some crossover as far as like a lot of collaborations. So the thing that kind of got it kicked off for me, and maybe with you too, Richie, I don't quite remember, but with Hasbro and they were kind of the first ones to really lean into toy photography and feature that.
Yeah.
And the first one was at Comic-Con, and was at 2016, I think, right after Force Awakens. And so the first time, I mean, basically they just reached out and said, hey, if you've bought the Black Series line, shoot them. And then if you want to use the hashtag like Hasbro Toy Pick, you know, then we may be able to choose a few of them and then put them on display at Comic-Con. And so I think a few of us just kind of we were at the right place at the right time, and our photos were used and picked up. And actually, if you go real quick, go to Spencer Switpic's account, because you can see in his, I think if it's still there, in his story, he has a picture of the wall. So click on his
story.
Yeah, right there. I think he reposted. Yeah, go through. Maybe not. Let me see. He reposted basically the wall from comic. There we go. So there's us, 2018. Yeah.
I don't think it was that one.
It was the first. They had the wall display with our photos, and yeah, I don't know. I guess it's not there. But anyway, long story short, they displayed our photos. That was the first time we were able to kind of see things. Maybe it was Celebration.
Yeah, I think they, the Hasbro Legends team, they'd show in their events a lot of toy picks on the live too.
Yep,
it was really cool.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that was probably for me. That was kind of the first. That was really the first official like feature where the stuff was shown and displayed, and they also highlighted the artists and put their handles on the images, and then in some cases like during the brand breakfast, so like when Thursday mornings, they'd have like brand preview, so they would invite people to come and look at the product before they put it out on display. And so what's cool about that is you could kind of go and see the figures and kind of handle them and touch them. And sometimes they would have on the screens, they would like just roll our toy photos. So it's really interesting just to look back and think like that was some of the first opportunities we were working officially like with Hasbro, with Star Wars, with Marvel. And, also we've done some stuff with Bluefin brands, but I'll let Richie kind of talk about maybe if he's got a different angle on it.
Yeah. I mean, for you, like, cause you said what, 2016? And then was it 2017 where they launched with that Hasbro toy pick campaign?
Yeah.
Was that the first one? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that must have been like
so
crazy. Cool. Yeah, like pretty surreal to kind of do that. Yeah,
I think they asked Johnny to be kind of the ambassador for the toy community, and so I think he kind of did it in conjunction with Hasbro as far as like telling everybody about it and inviting people to use the hashtag.
Yeah, for me it was pretty different because like I knew that you guys worked with Hasbro for those campaigns.
Yeah.
And it was awesome to see you guys like doing that. And I was like, man, I hope one day I could do that too, that kind of thing. But for me, it wasn't really like them necessarily reaching out to me. I try to reach out to them essentially. And so that was like my kind of way going in, or at least trying to, get noticed in that way.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was different for me. And I'm sure like some people probably don't, or look at that. Like, I don't know if they feel weird about kind of like being the first person to initiate that, as opposed to like letting opportunities like just come up and then just going with them. But I think for me, it was just like, I want to do that. So I'm going to see if, I can. Right. So
why not?
I remember like, my first opportunity was it was one of the Marvel campaigns that they did. And I got to shoot Ronin. And that was like almost, I think 2018, right before Comic-Con, like May during that year. And I remember just being like super stoked just to be able to be a part of that. And I think for sure that was like, just working with Hasbro in general, like, and being able to work with them, on several campaigns over the years with different IPs has just been, it's been really fun, honestly. And being able to see like what these other guys are producing, which figures they're going to get or be able to shoot and kind of like showcase. But yeah, I specifically remember that. And I remember I think I want to like, just like maybe even have a display of like those figures that I've been, given the opportunity to like photograph and just have them like in a display or
That'd be
something
cool.
like that.
Just a few little scenes.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe. But yeah, I think one of the big things is like just for, I guess, trying to get brands to like recognize that stuff. Obviously, like people tagging them on social and stuff like that. But I think just it really depends on who's looking at it and if they see the opportunity as opposed to just looking at a photo and being like, oh, cool. As opposed, like if somebody, like for instance, if I made a shot with like sneakers or something like that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it would be exposed to the sneaker community if some feature page decided to pick it up and do that. But then there also has to be the person who looks at that and sees the opportunity, like, oh, maybe we can work with this toy photographer for this campaign that we're doing, you know? Like, I think there has to be some sort of like recognition, but I mean, I do think there is a bit of luck as well in that whole thing, for sure.
There's so much stuff out there. I mean, I'm sure these companies are getting tagged in hundreds of thousands of posts in a day, and they have to go through all that stuff. There definitely is a bit of luck, and I don't think there's anything wrong. I mean, if given that sea of people that's there for you to step out and be like, I really want to do this. Hey, can we work on something together? I think it shows to me. I've always throughout life, it's like that shows you have initiative. Right. And you want to take what you want for yourself. Right. You're not waiting for it to come to you. You got to take some steps towards that. And, who cares if some people see it in whatever way, like that's something that you wanted. And, it kind of worked out.
Yeah. And if you don't, I mean, you might be missing out on an opportunity. Right.
There you go.
That's the biggest thing. Like you were saying, like just the initiative. And you, like I said, you just never know. I mean, I would say I lucked out. If I was delayed and didn't do toy photography until later on, before or after the campaign that they did, I may not have been able to kind of get in and go work with them kind of consistently. I think the other thing too is instead of just saying, hey, look at my work, look at how, not like out of like being haughty or anything, but like, hey, look at how cool this shot looks. I think so much of it too that's benefited Richie and myself and some of the other guys was that we've had the opportunities to meet the people we've been working with. Okay. So going to the cons and going and meeting, the people who are representing the brands or the toy companies, and having those opportunities, making those opportunities, because obviously it costs a lot of to go, fly across the country and go to cons and all that. So I think part of it is building those relationships too. It's not just getting lucky. It's not just somebody finding your stuff or reaching out and saying, hey, work with me. But part of it's too is like cultivating the relationship, just like with anything.
A lot of businesses and a lot of job opportunities are the same way. Sometimes I'm not saying you guys aren't qualified, because clearly the quality of the work is there, but sometimes in other jobs or whatever, someone might just might be who that puts you in a certain position. So that's definitely another factor in that. I'm going to leave that topic with a quote from Michael Scott from The Office, which is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. And on that note, I believe you two owe me a little bit of unboxing.
Okay.
Because we're an hour in and I'm already too deep.
Taking it out of the box.
Whoa.
Oh, nice. So you prepared.
Ninja, when did that happen?
You weren't paying attention, man. It just happened.
You had to have had your mic muted because that was silent as hell.
It's impressive. All right. I'll kind of, I don't know. Do you want to like go at the same time, or do you want to just let Richie go first? And what do you want to do? You're the boss.
There's no rules. Remember?
Again, no rules. Just enjoy it.
I need format.
You got to open something.
All right.
So you've got... my camera doesn't do the autofocus thing, so this is going to be kind of weird. I'm going to probably have to manual focus and do that kind of stuff, but yeah. This figure, I think when it was first announced, I was just like, well, Neca in general, the sculpts that they do, and specifically I always go back to the movie Turtles because I'm just like always blown away that figure even exists to the quality that it exists at the price point. You know what I mean? Like all that stuff combined. So yeah, the Frankenstein in general, I already knew, like, I felt like it was going to have, the quality there, the sculpt and the paint, and then seeing it in person, this thing already looks super photogenic. So like once you put the right lighting on it and all that stuff for photography, it's going to look like incredibly like lifelike, I think. So let me try to like show you guys exactly. If you guys haven't seen this one in person yet,
didn't that one come out pretty, like, wasn't it announced and then it came out really, really soon after? I feel like it was announced earlier this year.
Yeah, not too long ago. As far as like the full, the full. That looks awesome.
I should probably
That's
get the actual
great.
figure up here too.
It
But
comes with 3 heads, right? I've got it right here.
it does. It does.
Yeah.
It looks really awesome. And they're coming out with like the black and white version too, but with, different sort of monotone grays, whites, blacks, shading.
Is this a purchase
And all that.
for yourself of interest for your collection, or is it something where like you bought it, you have an idea to shoot it?
So, I mean, I think just Frankenstein being classic, I wanted to pick it up. And then even the way, whoa, I look super.
Oh, by the
out
way,
of
you're
focus,
completely
guys.
out of focus.
Sorry. But yeah, just I think because it was classic for one, but I think also just in general, the way that I shoot stuff, I feel like Frankenstein could be a fun character to kind of throw into a concept or something like that,
Yeah, that's the I wanted to bring that up while I had these
Sure.
pictures up and I forgot. But the stuff that you guys do, not only is it like quite exceptional, but it's a lot of the stuff is really lighthearted and fun. It's not always like bad guys beating up good guys and vice versa and bloody. It's like, it's lighthearted, but it looks killer. It's very well put together, and I think that's what brings a lot of joy and entertainment for people looking at these photos. And that's probably that might be something more of what company might be looking for in terms of like, hey, I want someone to look at a photo and bring these emotions out, not just like, oh, it's totally badass and this and that, but just like to be able to have fun with some of this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because I think to some extent, there is that whole idea of like what looks like it's too realistic to the point where maybe it doesn't look like that figure in person. You know what I mean? And then there's also, like you kind of have to find the right balance, which I don't know if my photos necessarily do that, because I think I tend to try to make it more realistic, but not to the point where it looks, not like a toy in a way. I don't know if that makes sense, but for me, I want to still make sure like that it looks like a toy. Being a toy kind of comes across, and I've said this I think in like other podcasts before, but keeping in like articulation points, not like taking that out with Photoshop. I feel like that's really important, just because I feel like the charm of the toy should still come across. That's just like my opinion. Like people can do whatever they want. They can make it look super realistic, cinematic, like a screen capture from a movie or show. But I personally just love that, I can see the joints and the articulation points and all that type of stuff. And then adding the BTS also even helps that, because one of the reasons why I put behind the scenes in my post is so that, one, I think seeing it that way just in general makes it more approachable as far as like people wanting to learn and try out the photography themselves. If they maybe see like one of my photos and feel like they don't know like how that was done or anything like that, if you go to the behind the scenes, they can look at it and kind of see maybe like how it was posed, what things I did, the lighting, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Then again, the other part of that is, if it's too realistic looking, if it looks like a screen capture or a video game capture or anything like that, people might just glance over it and just assume that, as opposed to it being like toys. And I think that's where kind of like the sort of the magic is, for them to realize, oh, these are toys, not like,
See, that's the funny thing. I think it's really cool sometimes when you see a toy photo and you go, oh shoot, that looks like a screen grab from a movie or it's from a video game. But see, both of those things are fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. I think
that's the style of art that you're going for.
I think the way I'm thinking about it though is more like, I think like reach and that type of thing, or getting people familiar with what it is. Cause I think executionally, like, yeah, getting it to a level where it looks realistic is the goal for sure for me, and it was. But I think once I didn't want people to like look past it being a toy. And so I think adding that behind the scenes kind of helps people understand like what it is, or makes it more shareable, or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's funny because I think on that, I think when we first started, generally the goal was like, how do we make these photos look realistic so they don't look like toys?
Right.
And it was really fun for, kind of a season when we started, really for myself. to be able to do that and achieve it. And then people, like you were saying, people look at it and be like, oh my gosh, that looks like it's straight from the film. And so those shot recreations were a lot of fun and challenging, and really forced me to figure out, okay, how would this light have been set up for the actual production, like for this certain scene? Like where's the key light? Where's the kind of fill light, backlight, rim light, to get all that? And so it was really fun and challenging. But then at a certain point, like after a couple of years of just doing that, it was more like, okay, I feel like I've understand the concepts for getting those types of shots, and starting to see actually, Richee was doing that, Plastic Action, Dwayne shoots toys, really trying to bring in more like conceptual thinking into their work. Okay. That really was inspiring. And it's funny because as a designer and an illustrator, I love doing mashups, right? I like doing like a lot of the t-shirts and designs and illustrations that I'd done years before were a lot of like these mashups, right? And so it was fun to say, hey, I can actually do that and not be tied down to making these scene recreations. But how do you make something that's engaging and unique, and like you were saying, like something that stands out? So that was really fun to, oh yeah, you can see behind the scenes, like
yeah, this was when I was building last night, and people were like, oh, Jason's on right now, and then I loaded your stream onto my stream at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you did? That's awesome.
Yeah, I think I typed hello from YouTube, but I don't know if it's submitted or not. But that was cool, because I was talking about what would be happening tonight, and they were saying, oh, someone said Jason's on right now.
That's awesome. I saw you pop in, and I was like, this is awesome. It's so fun. Like anytime you go live and you see friends, like even here in the chat, like friends of mine, friends of Richee's, friends of yours, and just people that are in the community, just saying like, hey, I like what you're doing. I want to support you, and just spend, even if it's like 5 minutes, just drop in and saying, hey, and
yeah,
like that means the world, even if it's just like 4 people. And so that's always really exciting when you do go live and see familiar faces and new faces and meet new people. So that was kind of fun to do, like impromptu. But
that was awesome. Jason, I didn't see what you opened.
Oh yeah, so we got the turtles, or the turtles.
Oh yes.
Okay, one thing I wanted to say and about Neca, and I'm not just saying this because if Blaine's still here, I'm not just saying it because they've been
pretend he's not here
forever. He's not here. Okay,
pretend he's not here.
So the one
talk some trash right now.
Yeah, right. I can't talk trash about Blaine. But yeah, so obviously the photos that they do are just always cool. I love even the Frankenstein stuff on the packaging that you just opened.
Right.
Great. The illustrations, they're beautiful. The insert. So if you've ever been to the cons and seen NECA's display, like
I haven't.
This photo right here is like a diorama that they built, and they use the diorama on display at the con. And so it's really interesting that some of it feels, it feels very professional, like the design. Chris Ramo, he does a lot of the layout for the turtle line and a bunch of other ones too, even the monsters line. But this feels like the old VHS tape, right? And so all the design and like it's really creative. But the main thing I really wanted to point out that I would love to see more companies do is the credits. Like
sculptor, painter,
yeah,
all that stuff at the bottom.
Yeah, Randy's always on there, Randy Falk. But yeah, Jeff Trapp, good friend from IG, did paint. So like, photography. Steven Mazurek does a lot of photography for them, like in studio. And Chris Ramo has become a good friend as well. And so just the acknowledgement of the designers and the creatives that are like part of this, even just, Trevor Zammit, it does a lot of this line specifically. Just to like see their names on it, it's awesome. So I think that'd be really cool to see more companies like lean into that and not be afraid of saying, hey, here's the illustrator we used. Or
there was a He-Man stop motion video earlier this week, I believe, that was made out of action figures, and I forget if it was the dancing one? It's either the Mattel or whatever, Netflix IG or something that posted it. And I remember looking through the description and like, who made this? And I was having a conversation with Mr. Jones. It's like, we don't know who did this. It would have been nice for them to credit on that post specifically who did that stop motion. We were trying to guess if it was who's that guy who's he's so hot right now?
Like one of
Yeah. Dean Galloway. He's done a lot of the stuff for Neca.
Right. So, we couldn't tell who it was, and Chris is an artist, and I'm just like, maybe they probably just saw this as an advertisement that they paid for, and they're just putting it on their social, and it's like it would have been cool to see, as a toy person, if you're using toys to advertise this show, you're gonna attract some toy people. So why not give the person who's doing it from the toy aspect the credit for that kind of thing? It would have been cool to see something like that. So I agree with you. I see that on the NECA stuff.
Yeah,
at the bottom of the box, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's really just admirable, because it just says, hey, we're a team, and obviously other companies can come poach, right? They could say, oh, I know this is Chris Ramo, he does a package design, it's great stuff. Let's see if he can come over and work for us over at XYZ. I'm actually not going to open all this stuff just because the plastic sound is awful.
That's all good. But how did Richie do it?
Well, I pre-opened some of these things, but even just some of the stuff, just popping them out, I'll mute it. But I want to put this big alpha head on. But a lot of the accessories come from the other packs as well. So like the guns, the knife, the stars, the ooze. But just having like alternate heads, all the other thing about NECA, and especially the Turtles line, is all the deep cut stuff that they add. I think it's pretty fun.
Those ones,
random episodes and stuff.
Those ones, the 4-pack today had the cat April toy opening ASMR. That's right. Classify it as that. Richie, sorry, bring that Frankenstein back. My bad.
You mean right here?
I know you have to refocus. Damn.
He looks so good.
It looks good.
I don't know if that's even been solicited here in Canada. I know Goliath isn't even solicited in Canada, but BBTS is supposedly shipping it out soon.
Oh, really?
From the US. I got my pre-order in there.
Man, I mean, just the sculpts are incredible alone, and so when you get something like that is like it's kind of realistic versus like cartoony, when you throw some light on that, it will look amazing.
It looks incredible in hand, and just I mean, the sculpt is there, but it's also the washes that they use. Yeah, just everything. It just brings it to life. It's so
like you said, at that price point.
Yep, exactly.
You guys kept bringing up Johnny. When I first started my IG, and those NECA turtles were only at quarter scale.
Yeah.
And he was killing it with those shots.
Yep.
And he really brought out the texture that they have and the paint on those turtles. Like you can see all the little, I don't know what you would call
pores or what.
Pores, on the turtle. Like painted so well. And I was so heartbroken that, if I wanted all four, it would be 600, 700 Canadian dollars to get all four. It was awful. But luckily they put them out.
Did you get any? Did you get at least?
Yeah, I have the 7-inch one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to get Leo of the 1/4 scale or the quarter scale when that first dropped. And I was like, amazed by it. But then when they announced the 7-inch ones, I was mind blown that they went there.
Yeah, now you can kind of bring it into your world of everything that you do at that size, right?
I love those turtles so much. Yeah, they're like some of my favorite photos like have come from just shooting those for sure.
Yeah. The shredding from the 2020 exclusive pack.
Yeah.
Like using those accessories for that. That's so brilliant, man.
Trevor says it's nice. Exo6 gave me credit on their box, but they do pay you for it, so it's up to them. Yeah, no, I get it. They don't have to do it. It's definitely a nice thing to put in there. You get paid for the job, unless your contract says like, I want my credentials.
Yeah,
you could put that in there, honestly. Like if you somehow were able to get a feature from Marvel or something, I think that should definitely be in there for sure. Oh, Jax is here.
Our boy Jax. Jax is here.
What's going on? So Richie, you had that picture with the pink skulls pouring all the Mezits into melting it down.
Right.
I have this joke with the Toy Migos, which has gotten out of hand because Johnny and Cheney and all those guys were like, yeah, we just throw these out. I'm like, no, these are toys. Like you can't just throw them out. You guys are crazy. Mm-hmm. So when Dario sent me this Power Ranger, the box was basically packed with, I think there were about 8 of these
Message,
inside, and some and very little bubble wrap because it had a bunch of those. So the joke has definitely gone out of hand. I think those were the Mezits from every single Toy Mego, like in the crew. They sent it over.
So basically, they're using Mezits as like peanuts, packing peanuts, right?
Which is crazy because Mezco already has the best bubble wrap out there.
Yeah.
Let that black bubble wrap.
I don't know actually, Neca. If you gotten some stuff,
oh no, the Neca one,
those are
formed and the
oh my god,
formed, and you have it's basically like a bubble box.
I got to show you that just because it's so cool. Here you go.
But it's for me, it's the reusability for the environment. It's very hard to find something that I'm selling or shipping. That's the exact. Yeah, it's like another box.
This right here.
Yeah.
When I first saw a figure come in that, I was like, "Yo, that's crazy." But yeah, you're right. If you do need to reuse some bubble wrap and stuff, Mezco's got it down for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So the Ian Malcolm.
What do you think?
You know, I know what I'm buying going in. You know, the face is pretty decent for some of the ones in this line. The glasses are okay. Articulation, you got a whole bunch of articulation. I don't know if you need it for him, but that's cool.
Well, you got to have him like laying down on a bearskin rug too. So.
Well, when the topless version comes out, I can do that.
There you go.
You kind of have the smirk, which kind of cancels the reason to have the flare. But I guess if you wanted to take a picture from behind, something like that, you can hide it. He's got like a walkie.
That's cool. Yeah, I love that accessory.
And you have the famous glass of water, which has the ripple effect inside as well. So that's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Great.
And
see, the thing with like even having a smirk maybe like in the wrong like situation like that, I look at stuff like that, accessories, face sculpts, and like try to come up with ideas specifically around that.
Right.
As opposed to like, like hide. I mean, sure. Yeah. Like turning it behind or backwards, you can definitely hide the face, but I love when figures have a particular thing about them that I can utilize for like a shot.
Yeah.
Did you have the, what's the import Woody from Toy Story that had the perv Woody face? Did you go through that phase in like the 2015 era where everyone was doing perv Woody stuff and just putting him in mischievous?
I got that one.
I never had that figure back then, but yeah, I totally remember like everyone, all their different types of shots with that face.
Yep.
For sure.
Some of them made me feel really, really uncomfortable in the situations they're putting him in. But
there are some questionable pictures out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the Mattel. So the Ian and Owen. So the Chris Pratt from Jurassic Park.
Oh yes,
Jurassic World. Those figures are really good, but I have to say, the recent ones that have hit the shelves, Samuel L. Jackson's character, I forgot his name. Sorry, guys. I've seen that in the store, and it just is not. It doesn't feel like it's the same like caliber of sculpt, or maybe it's the like paint application or something that doesn't do the sculpt justice. So I originally wanted to get all those, but I kind of just passed on some of. But I'm glad I've got Malcolm. He's a really solid figure, and then Owen. One of the shots I did. Remember the in the Mando in that, I forgot which episode it was, but the jeans guy.
Yep.
Yes.
I used the Owen body and recreated it, and then photoshopped my stupid head on the body, and like tried to recreate that shot. And that's only the only time I've shot that Owen, but I pulled up because like he's got jeans on, so I have to do that and mess with it and see
stuff like this. This is like, it's just fun.
Oh yeah,
it's just fun to look at. I'm trying to find that pic.
It's funny because anytime new figures come out, you see a lot of toy photographers really do the figures justice.
Yeah.
And it's really inspiring to see how they shoot them, and like you're kind of going back to making them look realistic. And so for me, and Richie maybe too, this is how you approach it. But when I see a figure, like if it's an expression or something, I think, okay, what is something I can do to capitalize on either the sculpt or the expression and make something unique from it that's going to be different from what everybody else might do, even though like all their work is amazing and beautiful, inspiring, and like with that Jar Jar shot, I just thought, man, that would be really funny to, instead of shoot it as Jar Jar, shoot it as Ahmed Best in the motion caption suit. Because for me, growing up and watching like the documentaries for Star Wars and how they made it, those were just like fascinating. So seeing him act out, basically, become Jar Jar himself, I was like, man, that'd be really cool. That means I'm gonna have to like cut off his ears. I'm gonna have to do like pulled Finn's head off the body and then put it on there. So that was super. It's always fun to like try to do something different, or even like some of those recent shots, like taking and bought like a custom sculpt for the Mando when he's in the transport troop.
Yeah,
like a custom that I got from like Centerpoint Customs, and use that, like just doing something different. So it's not the same figure that everybody's going to see, but I'm using parts and either like kit bashing or doing something different.
Yeah. You had to destroy that Jar Jar figure.
I destroyed it, but I actually put it back together. I glued the ears back on.
Yeah, I've definitely like done stuff like that to figures just to. I think the one specifically that I destroyed and didn't try to put back together was the Chucky pulling another Chucky out of the Woody doll.
Oh, that was
you remember that one?
Man. Yeah,
that one I was like, this Woody doll is like so old. I'm just gonna like use it for this thing. So I cut open like the chest of it. And then use like the Neca Chuckies. You've Got a Friend of Me was the inspiration behind that shot.
Brilliant.
But it was
my goodness.
I don't know.
You took that very literally.
Yeah.
I literally did.
That's
what are Chucky dolls called?
Good,
something buddy, something, right? Good. I don't know.
I don't know. I never watched that. That scared the crap out of me when I was. Hey, Sonny's in the house. What's going on, Sonny?
Sonny,
what's up?
What's up?
Hope you got that new. Sonny probably has that new Galactus prototype already made out of tinfoil.
His plug came through. Right?
His Mexican hookup, he always calls it. Right. Star Marvel, thank you for the super chat, man. He says, "What's up, Kev? Jason, Richie, love y'all's work." Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
That's
man. Thank you so much. And I mean, Star Marvel, you do great work too.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So thanks for coming through.
Desk. I'm gonna start unboxing my Grogu, guys.
Hell yeah!
All right. I got to see what this is about for sure.
Yeah, and I've got this guy too.
Yeah, do that. Both of you.
Oh my god,
this thing is huge. To be on screen. This stuff is awesome.
How's that gonna fit in your frame, man?
It's not.
But I also want to see. I want to see you unbox this because I'm really curious about it, and I kind of want it.
You should totally get this, man. Do you have Baby Groot, Jason?
No, I don't.
Baby Groot was. Yes, that's definitely a conversation I had with Jax. I think he already did a shot with Grogu and Baby Groot, but that was like one of the first things that came to mind, just because you start thinking about what other. Like when you get a life-size figure, you literally like everything around you becomes a prop in scale. You know what I mean? So I think that's why Baby Groot is so fun to photograph. And same with Ant-Man is a really good one because he scales. He can be really big. You can get the Hot Toy, which I picked up the Hot Toy one when this one dropped for Ant-Man 2 or Ant-Man and the Wasp. I got this because this can be humongous and act like, Giant Man inside of a city. He could be really small still in like life-size scale. Like you can have so much fun with this type of figure, and same with Baby Groot. And so like Grogu life-size, just I felt like it would, have that same variety as far as like the type of shots you can get from it. Potential, yeah. And so that was definitely one reason I picked him up. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. I know the Slideshed one came out first, or the reveals and stuff, but then the Hot Toys one, because it came with more accessories and interchangeability for expressions, I decided to go with that one, or this one.
Trevor said in the chat earlier he prefers this one as well. I've seen Paul unbox.
Yes.
I know, Jason, you watch when we talk about Bad Batch. Paul has his own YouTube that he unboxes stuff as well, and he had both of those. And based on what I saw, I think I like the Hot Toys one better. I think he said there's more Is it expressions or just articulation too? Look at that box.
Yeah, articulation.
It's
The
crazy.
sideshow one doesn't really have much at all.
Is this packaging? This is meant to be like the pram, right, or the thing?
Yeah.
that you
Yeah,
put
I think
around
so. In a rectangular form.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Look at him! Oh my god! Hold on.
That's a beast, man.
All right. All
Yeah.
Hey,
Paul.
Blake, thank you. Blake says, showing some love, keep up the great streams. Thank you so much, Blake, for the super chat too.
Paul's unboxings are really, really awesome. I actually went back through some other ones, but yeah, it's fun, like just seeing people when they are unboxing and seeing like their expressions and like what are the things that do it for them, like why they're excited about it. Paul, he did some of the like the heavy Mando. That figure looks amazing, but it's really difficult because we all have budgets and we all have things we have to be responsible for, and so all the stuff I want to buy, I probably shouldn't. But
You can just smell like the paint coming off of this thing. Like, wow.
Oh, look, I have a 1-to-1 scale Grogu too.
You do.
Oh my
No, just
God,
gotta fake
yo.
it. Fake until.
Yeah, this thing
Me
smells.
too. I got mine.
Look at this thing, though. Wow.
Sideshow is a statue, no movement. Ah,
This is the Hot Toys Grogu as well. I just picked it up. Literally picked it
It's
up.
exactly the same.
Wow.
2 Grogus.
Look at this hair.
Is it actually wispy?
It's real hair from some human. Oh no.
Oh God,
From some human.
from some child, some human child.
I don't think that's how they do it, Richie.
I'm pretty sure that's how they do it, guys. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wow.
But yeah, holy shit, dude. This is awesome. Hold on. Let me
Okay. A couple of things. I want to know your thoughts on those seams, the ear seams a little later. That's the biggest thing, the question I've got.
Oh, the ears.
Yeah.
Oh, right, because you can swap them out for different expressions, right?
Yeah, I think there's 2 sets, or there's a set of 2. And so one of them, I don't think it. I think it just is down just a little bit, and one's not. Sonny says Grogu has more hair than me.
And I know you're thinking of ideas right now what you can do with the extra parts, extra hands and stuff.
I'm thinking about that too. I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
come
there's
over and steal it.
anytime there's accessories. I think even like that's what's another thing about being there in the store and just looking around. Like for me, like walking around Target, just seeing what figures are out there. You can see the accessories. I remember like when the Karate Kid like figures that Neca made came out. I wasn't necessarily looking at like the character figures too, like like initially I saw like the wax on, wax off, like cleaning thing or whatever, and I was like, I'm gonna use those on like those NECA turtles and like have them like cleaning their shells or something, So like it's stuff like that, the little stuff that the accessories can kind of point to different types of ideas or at least help you think about it in that way.
Yeah.
These are all the ones that Dario sent, by the way.
That's a ton, man. I've got like
Nice. I have a lot too. Yeah, I
Do
can't
you
believe
guys-
they throw them away. I keep mine for sure.
Johnny's got that Loom Cube money. He doesn't need this.
I'm just
That's
waiting for Mezco to be like, well, you guys who have been saving all these, like, here's your reward. Like, your opportunity to get like this.
Trade in 40
Exclusive.
Mezco for one figure.
Exactly. That's what I'm waiting on.
Okay, I tease Johnny a lot, but he's awesome. The only reason I can joke so easily because I've talked to him for like years now. He's been super nice. Like you said, he's been doing this toy photography stuff very early on, and I would shoot him messages on Facebook or IG, and he was always open to like giving tips and this and that, and we would talk cameras. He also has a Sony camera as well, so we were just talking about stuff, lenses, just chopping it up, and then ultimately, having talked to him for so many years, seeing him, get the gig at a Super 7, I was like, that was so awesome, and it's cool. So I was really happy to have had him on and chat a few times, and it's cool that he's kind of imparted his work, kind of influenced.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people,
definitely
especially in this panel right now.
Yeah, He's such a good guy too. It's nice being able to like spend some time with him at the cons. We were actually Richie and I, and Jax, and Johnny, and Alex. Let's see. We were invited
Toy Arc.
to do a signing a couple years ago
That was
at
so weird.
Comic Con for Bluefin at their booth.
Really?
Yeah, which is crazy. It's kind of it's silly, you know. People
Oh,
are like,
nice.
"Who are
I thought it was
you?"
weird. I mean, I thought
Like,
it was a cool opportunity for sure. And going back to that, I think just
It's
in
awesome.
general, that was my first time ever at Comic Con
Oh, that's
because
right.
of Bluefin.
And
Yeah,
they were able to get you.
'cause
Yeah,
the guy who worked there reached out. They reached out initially just to like, like send product or whatever. But then it wasn't really. And I don't remember how the Comic Con thing even like came about. I don't know if you kind of like jump started that, Jason, but
I know.
I remember him
it
reaching
might
out and
have-
being like, "What?"
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember exactly, but yeah, I know Jax and I were talking about it and trying to figure out if we were going to go and if we could, and it worked out. And so we each had like our own times where we would sign, and some like Johnny and I actually were at the booth at the same time signing. So it was really fun being able to just spend, I think it was like an hour or something there together, just sitting and chatting, and especially when you have people who like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, we shoot pictures of toys and the brands that are here on the floor. You can take a look. Here's photos of Spider-Man or whatever. And for them to just say, oh my gosh, that's awesome. I've never seen that type of work before, or taking toys and shooting them. And so at the time it was pretty interesting to see people come by, talk to them, and they were really inspired and like, oh man, I want to pick that up and I'm going to try that out too. So that was really fun. Like actually having that in-person experience.
There was a lot of confusion as well. I remember them
there
like
was.
not really knowing like who we were, because they were like, "Are you guys the guys who made the designs for the toys and stuff?" I think I got that a bunch of times. Yeah, to ask some questions about that, but
All right, I'll start opening this up while you're working on those things. So this is, as I said before, from my original from 1997. This is these play sets.
Wait, so did you buy that and had it since 97, or you?
I have, man.
Wow.
I bought it and thought, I mean, I've got several of these. I've got like the Chewbacca, R2, Boba Fett, and then a lot of these too, like the little mini sets too, the Falcon. And so for some reason I didn't open this. I think at the time, it was like, maybe if I keep it in the box, then maybe it'll be worth something. But I think all that stuff depreciated, so it's worth less money than it was before. So I thought, man, this has been sitting for a while, and I'm really curious. I haven't opened it up. It's still sealed, so I'm going to open it up. I think it's appropriate to do that. I guess I've had it for a long time, so
we have Rick Jones in the chat with some late breaking toy news. Heads up, people! Mego 8-inch Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow are up on Hasbro Pulse, $60 2-pack.
Oh,
cool!
I like
interesting.
This. Thank you for the heads up.
See, that's cool. That up.
Oh yeah, I know what I'm doing.
All right, I just broke the seal on this puppy. Let's see.
Yo, this ball thing is magnetic to this hand.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very cool.
What's going on? There we go.
I don't know. I'm saving my sideshow points for, I don't know, for the end of this year. I'll see what's good.
Yeah. Okay, I got a question for you guys. When you open stuff, do you use like an X-Acto knife, or do you use a blade?
Anything that I have, like keys or
teeth. You're sloppy, man.
Teeth. A spoon I was eating cereal with.
Jason, you would have a specific knife that you bought for unboxings.
No, I just use. Oh, that's nice.
Ooh,
I like that.
This was made by one of the fellow enablers, High School Creations, Mike.
Oh,
High School has all the high tech stuff. So he has a laser.
That's rad.
It's not even. I don't even know if it's a laser engraver. It's a laser, basically. So he's on his way to world domination as a Bond villain, and he hooked us, all the enablers, all four of us, with a knife like this for our unboxings. Because as you know, we do this enablers episode on the first Thursday of every month.
Yeah. His work is absolutely amazing. All those, man, all the dio builders. I like doing that type of stuff. But to see people like that create these miniature dios that look just stunning, especially when you shoot them, they're awesome. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Do you two use dios often? Do you have a go-to person? Do you keep one or two, or you try to make do with what you have, or use a computer screen?
I have a few dios that I use. If I got like a new one, I would, hit up like Terraformer Graham. Like I would,
Graham's
talk to him about some stuff if I wanted to make something. But one of them I picked up was by Chris Lyons, I believe was his name. But he had one dio for sale, I remember, on his story, and I was like, oh snap, that's like a pretty good deal. So I ended up picking that up and use that one pretty often. But also like the Neca dios. And yeah, I do use like diorama, like using like a TV screen. Shout out to Jason Young, more or less. Jason is he definitely shared that whole technique, I think. I mean, with me for sure, and I'm sure a lot of other people.
Let's get into that right after this, but this 2-pack, what do you think? $60, 8-inch.
I don't collect.
I think it's cool looking.
I don't collect the Mego stuff, but I love the aesthetic.
Me too.
From a collectible standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it has a lot of stuff too. It looks like they're fully stocked on weapons.
Now, are these toys that existed previously that they're retroing, or is it like a new product?
Or is it a Mego style? Let me see.
Maybe.
Not available to ship to Canada. Wow, right off the bat.
Wow, straight up, just in your face.
Welcome to Hasbro Pulse.
You're promoting them, and they tell you that.
Not available to ship to Canada. Like, bro, I'm just showing people. Why do you got to attack me like this?
This is the other thing that I love, like with the older toys, like the
Robot Chicken G.I. Joe special.
The instructions and like the decal sheet. There's something about this that feels really, it's just nostalgic.
For sure.
Okay, let me bring this up. I don't know if you will remember this. Hopefully you will. The original Turtles toys had those instruction papers, but they were also like comics and stuff.
Yep.
In some of the play sets. I miss stuff like that.
Me too.
And there would be, I don't know, they would be serialized if you bought a whole bunch of sets. I think they continued. They had like activities and stuff. It was so cool.
Yeah.
I miss that kind of stuff.
I may, because I like this in box, I may keep these guys here because I can put this back together and at least have the box kind of intact. But I've got all of these individual from
all right, let's take turns.
Other packs. Yeah. From other packs. I'm going to keep these in here.
We have the throne room scene, Vader versus Luke.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love those miniature things for sure. Yeah. Hey guys, we got Grogu back.
Oh my gosh.
The thing that like I haven't watched any reviews on this, so I really didn't know about like the magnetic ear things.
Yeah.
The magnetic hand or palm for the ball. But
does his mouth move?
Yeah, it does. It's articulated like this.
That's what I think is great. You can get so much more expression out of them.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's like $350.
Yeah, I had a gift card for this one, thankfully, but I still think it would be worth
400.
It.
Oh, for sure.
Was it 400? Yeah.
US, I think. Yeah.
My only concern is like over time, like I could, because of the material, feel like this may not age well, but who knows? I'd ask some like Hot Toys people, like if Trevor's still in the chat, then he might know how that might work over time, just like deteriorating.
But with that material they use, it says careful. So. Literally saying it right now. Careful with the mouth. Keep it in a neutral middle position.
Yeah, I'm like literally just going.
Oh, I wonder how well this holds up in a few years. You just.
I think there's a wire in those ears, so why don't you just like try to force and bend it? Yeah. No, don't do it.
Oh my god. You guys are terrible.
Yeah. Actually, they totally should have done that.
Oh, we have made 1979 customs in the house. How you doing?
Yeah, this thing is amazing, though.
Trevor says it will crack. It has cracked on people already. So
Oh man, really?
back
Really?
to the box we go.
Yeah, right. Well, this is staying mint in box or partially open in box.
I didn't know they had
Wait,
these
neutral middle position. What does that even mean? Is that what this is,
Just
Trevor?
yeah,
Just want to make sure so I don't.
it's in between the extremes, so not closed, not open. It's like right in the middle. Or just whichever pose that you like or prefer, just leave it in that.
He
Does
do be looking
Grogu have
pretty cute,
legs?
though.
Says Chamba.
It does.
He does. I don't know if this is inappropriate, but there you go, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Chicken legs.
Chicken legs, drumsticks.
Slightly open. I didn't know they made these blue Mezits. So
What? That's new. I haven't seen that one. Did that come in the gold ones?
yeah, that's came in one of those 5 that Dario sent.
I thought they were just all gold, so I've just been like putting them away. So
I
you
got
actually
2
open
gold,
every single one.
only for here because Dario sent
You
them
just want to
over.
unbox more stuff. Oh, okay. Oh, we
Don't
gotta
keep it
have Grogu here. Closed is
I'm having
the
a-
worst.
Wow.
Okay, noted.
All right, that's enough of those Mezits. Actually, that's a nice little segue. I'm just finding all the transitions today. Except I lost
I
it.
don't know where to put this.
You can keep it there.
Keep it there with you. I
You.
just need to have them
To-
standing.
Yesterday, Mezco released this Casino La Cucaracha high roller box. Did you guys grab this?
I grabbed one. I believe Jason.
Jason,
did
are
not.
you a Mezco guy, or it depends on the character?
It kind of depends. I bought a few things that I really am, like the Hazard Gomez. I got. I've got the. Which one is it? It's not the street. It's the Agent Gomez.
Asian Gomez?
Agent
Asian.
might be Asian.
There is
Gomez.
an Asian one, kind of.
So I've got those. I've got the Superman, the Reeves Superman.
Nice.
Pre-ordered the '89 Batman 2 Januaries ago.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, and then I got John Wick. I haven't done anything with. And then also a gold ninja. So, but I'm not only. I mean, I love the stuff. I think they're good. I wish I had the pink skulls. I mean, everybody does. I wish I bought those, but no, I would. If I do anything, I'd probably stick with the Hazard Squad because I think those designs would be interesting, and I love that kind of like 70s like Bond aesthetic.
Right.
Pause.
I mean,
Pause on this.
yep.
I love this because I looked when I first saw this, I thought, the cardboard stuff was cool, but then I was also thinking like, oh man, this would be a really good opportunity for dio makers to actually build out this PSEC clubhouse stronghold. And so I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing people actually build this out into like actual dioramas, which would be dope.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have the pink skulls,
I do.
Kevin? You do?
Oh man, I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jason?
I suck. I haven't opened it yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Well, give it to
those things
me.
are
I'll-
going crazy.
I
resale.
know. And it's just
insane.
like, what am I going to do? Am I going to open it and enjoy it for like how long? Am I going to actually keep it? I don't know. I'm thinking of selling my, like the Mezco Punisher. I have 2, maybe 3 of them.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
Which one? The PX? Did you say which one? PX? Like
not the first the first one that came out, but not the one that is in the giant tin with all the stuff, which is the crazy expensive one. Than the ones afterwards. So I'm like, when I first got those, I'm like, these are the best. They have everything. I'm never going to sell this. But then now it's just been sitting on a shelf for a few years, and it's like somebody else could enjoy this. I could be putting other toys in that spot. You want to enjoy them?
Yo, the Punisher is like still, I think, one of my favorite from Mezco. As far as like the sculpts on the face, like all that. It just looks so good, you know. And
They're
I think
fantastic. The costumes
that one
fit
and
great.
the Joker, like the classic Joker that they did, was also a great one. I don't know how the body is necessarily on that one, but I love the Joker.
I mean,
For sure.
I think that Punisher might have been like the best thing um, that kind of put the 112th Collective line on the map. Would you say, like in terms of the weapons that Punisher came with,
Yep.
all the stuff, effects? Like I don't recall seeing any toy being accessorized like that, where you could have clips come out of the weapons and have blast effects that go in.
Yep.
The bullets were detailed in the clips and all that stuff. So that's why I felt like that I needed to hold on to it for some reason. But I mean, now, it's just gotten out of control. Some stuff might need to be let go. But I was flipping through this casino set. I did not know that I was getting 3 5 points pink skulls in there, and I was just like, oh shit, that just made it even better. As guilty as I felt for spending 200.
Yeah. Wait, how much? 170. Or I don't know about you. Actually, I don't know how much it costs for you.
It's
I think it
170, and then with tax and shipping, I think I paid 205.
Okay.
Those guys look awesome.
Which isn't terrible, I don't think.
Do you, when you pick up, like, how often do you pick up Mezco? Are you like, you kind of have to pick up everything? Are you pretty selective when it comes to Mezco purchases?
For the Gomez stuff, I've been trying to get everything, but they keep releasing army builders and this and that. It's like when I look into my pending orders right now on the Mezco site, and I quickly glance at the amount of money that's pending in there right now, I'm just like, I don't even want to look at it, and I can't. So this set I got because I'm a huge James Bond fan. This set looks great. The white tux look is classic, but the Death Brokers from today?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm a pass on those.
Yeah, I passed on those too. Didn't they come? What was it? The Death Brigade that they came out with recently?
Yeah, the ones
Like
with the
maybe a couple months
turtlenecks,
ago.
which kind of look like secret agents already.
Right. They looked so similar that it was like, I mean, it's not that I have those, but I think just they look so
Death
similar.
Brokers.
I could understand why people would pass on those.
I mean, you just hit me up for 175 yesterday, and then 265 today for
right.
3
That's
skulls.
what Con Week is about, man.
Yeah, I know. And I don't think the accessories really wowed me. Like glow in the dark is, I don't know. I didn't think it was that cool.
Right. I think for me, it's like it's just harder to shoot figures that are, designed with all black. So like that's one of the other reasons why I didn't pick them up. But I don't know. I'm kind of like fatigued with all the just skulls or different variant type of skulls that they're releasing. That for me, it was just like I could pass on this for sure.
89 Batman. I think what Mez said on the interview with my friend Toy Page was like they're trying to find the right material they can use to give it that bodysuit seamless outer, kind of like the Grogu, right? They said they want to do it the same way like Hot Toys, but I think they couldn't do it in that scale, or they couldn't find a factory for it, something like that. So they want to get it right.
I mean, here's the thing. I'm okay with, especially when we're spending this kind of money, I'm okay with waiting to make sure that it's done the right way. Because the worst thing would be to get it and then it's like, oh, a month later, it's breaking, it's cracking or whatever. So I mean, I get it, but also I'm also like, man, I really wish that would come, because I keep forgetting about it. I'm like, oh yeah, that would be nice to have at some point. But there's so much with the industry that as casual collectors we don't see, like behind the scenes. And
for sure.
For the conversations we've had, you too, I'm sure, with like Yoko and stuff, but like conversations we had with industry professionals and all the stuff they have to deal with, let alone the backlash from like fans. People just don't understand, which is why they make ridiculous comments and stuff. But
yeah, I mean, it's that's kind of the reason I wanted to speak to more people who are industry people on here. It's a lot of the stuff that collectors are angry about, it's just you're not really thinking about how things work. From the business end, which is fine. You don't have to you can just be a fan without having to learn about the business. I get it.
Yeah.
You just want to buy your stuff. But on that note, like, just be mindful, just be open to, you don't have to be all toxic or whatever.
It's more those
Yeah.
people who are. It's more the people who are toxic that are annoying when they're complaining about distribution or whatever. Who just don't understand or take the time to actually research or ask the right questions.
They're just, give me my toys now. I want my toys.
So putting decals on. I have a question. Along with like using an X-Acto, right? Did you guys enjoy putting stickers on as a kid?
No.
Or no?
No.
I do.
I don't think so.
I like getting it right and perfecting it. Check this
I
out.
like it being
I
right.
like getting it right. That's why I don't do it myself.
So you just had like your family members, like the adult in the room, put them on for you, or you didn't care?
My
or what?
fiance does mine now, and I'm 37.
Nice.
No, I would. I didn't mind putting them
Love
on necessarily, but I think I don't know. I'm not big on like model kits and building those type of things in general.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's like having to put on all the decals and all that stuff isn't that enjoyable.
It's more stressful.
You
than
know what?
anything.
I never used like an X-Acto knife or tweezers or anything as a child. So I'm just trying to cram my fingers in there. I would just be like, throw the sticker on and then try to rotate it into the spot. But, there's adhesives. And then at that point, it's already game over. So I never used tools like that as a child.
This piece. So I think Brian Flynn actually unboxed this on his live, right?
Right.
And so I was the same way with this piece. Again, the Beast is Back, who did this poster. He designed it. But I was the same way, like really trying to make sure.
Did you just drop the baby?
Perfect.
Nope, that didn't happen. No, of course not, guys. I'm a good parent for sure.
You got to practice. Anyway, I like putting stickers on, and I know it's really silly, but I like the like getting them right and like exactly where they're supposed to be, which is why I use an X-Acto knife, which is silly. Say what you will. But
Finkster 1229 says, I'm waitlisted for 89 Batman, which means if you all with a pre-order secured have already been waiting 2 years, I'm never seeing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they could have made that into a crowdfunding. It's like, okay, I'll take your money, and then now I'll go have it tooled, and then now I'll go figure out the engineering for it. Not just like, hey, here's some photos, you should buy it. It seemed kind of like, oh, I thought you kind of had an idea of what you were getting there. But again, I try to stay positive and get the benefit of the doubt. I mean, there are smaller independents, I guess, in the past who've burned people on Kickstarters or something like that, and I get it. But I mean, for these bigger companies, I think you can hold them accountable. I think that the easiest example I use for people who don't try to look into like the business side of things, it's like people who complain about Hasbro reusing parts for different figures. And I see the argument, right? You want something new every time, but awesome. Are those stickers even sticky after 20 something?
Those are really,
It's like it's brand new, man. It looks beautiful. The stickers work. The adhesive's still there.
Are you just cradling him so you don't drop it again, or just make a good thumbnail?
That was on video, so you're the one that dropped your kid.
Me? No, you guys didn't see that for sure. Anyway, no, I remember going into a toy store, I think a couple years ago, and seeing the Micro Machines. I think it was the one with Yoda. You know what I'm talking about, Jason? It's like the Yoda playset, the Dagobah one.
Yeah, I've got that one.
Dagobah.
Yeah, it's this one right here. Here in the corner. Right.
Yep. I think. Yeah, I picked that one up because I wanted the little miniatures, and just like I think just in general, I wanted like I think that's with all the Scout Troopers on there, like at the bottom. I thought they were
Chewy one was really cool. This one was indoor.
Enabled. I'm gonna go on the Craigslist or whatever Canadian equivalent after and look for some of these for sale.
These are fun. I should have grabbed the other ones that I already have.
I have the Ninja Turtle ones.
Oh yeah,
there was like a military Donatello, and his shell would open forward and backwards. There was another actual turtle thing that would open up, and it's a baseball diamond inside.
Oh right.
With a baseball bat that you can actually pull back and hit a ball, it's supposed to go into the sewer pipe that brings it around into the field and lands on the playing field, but it never went where you
worked.
wanted it to
Yeah.
go.
Were those actually Micro Machine brand or the company that made those?
No, I think it was some kind of
Playmates would have maybe had
Playmate
to
line.
have done that one, right? Yeah, because I've seen like the miniature like turtle, like vintage turtles and stuff, and I'm like, where did those come from? Like, I really want those.
They
They're
even
s-
have a miniature turtle van from there.
oh, really?
But it's cool. Hot Wheels released a miniature Hot Wheels turtle van recently, so
Yep,
at least
I picked that up.
people use that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
got that one. That was cool.
How about this? Well, Gotham by Gaslight Joker.
I never read that book, but
Here we go.
how many photos? Oh, there's like 4 photos in there.
They only released 2 for him. It was this kind of scribbly with this look.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one was Dick Tracy.
Yeah.
And Flat Top.
That's got some potential, I think.
I think people are really excited about that.
Yeah.
The Dick Tracy announcement.
I think there are some people who are excited for that. Not me. Joker.
I'm not either, but the Joker, I don't even know like the likeness of what they're supposed to look like, so I can't even I guess talk about that. But I mean, I think a Joker, like any Joker, in my opinion, is probably going to sell well. I think the expression there is very Jokery. So
I think so. There's a really old character. I forget which one it is, and I know Kyle sent a picture of it in this group chat today. That the look of the Joker was kind of based on, and this sculpt and this pose kind of looks like it.
Did they nail it? Yeah.
Kyle, I know you're still here. Let me know which Joker that is. I can look it up. But I got the Gotham by Gaslight Batman. I told myself after '89 Batman, I'm done with Mezco Batman. Like I don't need anyone. No, and it's true. It's just they found a loophole where they just keep pushing it back, and in that time, releasing more Batman. So I'm like, dang it.
Yeah.
The Man Who Laughs. All right.
That's that '89 Batman. Like I said, I'm willing to wait for that just to make sure it's right, because I think the Christopher Reeves Superman looks I was pretty impressed with it, and so having that one will be kind of nice. I think the '89
to have those together.
I wonder what Mezco's version of the animated Batman would look like. I just want them to make the Bruce Timm styled cowl.
Yeah.
Wasn't like the Joker was like the whole look of the Joker was kind of based off of or inspired by, you could say.
Yeah.
1928. Oh wow, I didn't realize it.
Same, I didn't either.
So it kind of has that look on that Gotham by Gaslight.
Oh, that's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah,
but I think for me, the things that are the most interesting from Mezco is Rumble Society. So like anytime they come out with new figures, I'm just more excited about that than some of the ones with actual IPs. I don't know how you feel. Yeah,
that's funny. The thing that I love about Mezco was that they made these really great toys and build up their brand with Punisher, Batman, stuff like that, and then like, hey, you know what, our product has gotten so successful, and let's do our own stuff.
Yeah.
And then that stuff is doing crazy well. They don't have to pay any license on it. I feel like it's even surpassed some of the Marvel releases. I think the Marvel releases maybe have even slowed down.
Yeah.
And
I do have actually Richie and the Burrows have bought me like the Wolverine, the Magneto. I do have the Homecoming Spider-Man, which I think is really a great figure too. I just don't. It's funny because they're like they feel higher end. I keep them in the box, and so I just don't get them out. And sometimes I kind of forget that I've got them, honestly. But they're still great figures, and I like the cloth. Obviously, they look great in photos. But I think just kind of the price point makes it a little difficult to feel like you can buy all of them, where you can for buying one you can get 4 Hasbro figures, even though they're not the same quality. Of course, you're not going for the same thing, but that's like buying one Hot Toy figure versus a few other like inexpensive, depending on if you want quality or quantity or whatever. I've got a few.
Yeah.
He's cool.
That's awesome. You could hold that up a little bit higher, and it looks like you're wearing it.
I know, right? I was doing that earlier, like right here.
I do have a Mezco blade I have yet to open that I should probably open. Should I do that? I know he's an older figure for sure, but it's also like 2 hours at 2 hours right now, so I don't want to.
Was that wasn't that an exclusive?
There was a regular one, and then there was an exclusive after.
I got the regular one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mezco is doing well. Mythic. Trevor says, I think we'll see more and more unique IPs from smaller companies. And that's cool. That's great.
I want to see that. Yeah.
That's great. Mezco is doing well. Mythic Legions. I had this conversation with Richee from Plunderlings, and it's like, all of this stuff is cool, but how much can you skate by with just toys based on nostalgia and something that you had as a child? Does that feeling kind of just wear off after you get it a little bit, or like wouldn't it be cool to see more and more new stuff, new ideas, new IPs? And I think after that conversation, looking at a lot of stuff, I was more, and of course with Plunderlings too, that being a new thing, I was more open to people making their own stuff and newer properties. Are you two interested in anything? You have your Turtles and your Star Wars, which I also love, of course, but like Richee said, new stuff, Mezco, Hazard Squad, and Gomez and stuff. Any other stuff out there that's newish?
I love when we've got people in the community who are starting. So like Plunderlings, those are great. Also, the Animal Kingdoms, or the Animal Kingdom series.
Animal Warriors of the Kingdom.
Animal Warriors of the
something kingdom thing.
Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. That's
but anyway,
AWOK.
My Spiro Toys. So Jason, it's funny because as he was working on that, I kind of saw his prototypes and I'm like, man, this is really cool. It was like for the 3.75 figures at first, or 4-inch or whatever it was, and kind of started talking to him, and it was cool, like getting to know him. And he was working on like production and tooling and sending him off to overseas. Animal Warriors, thank you. Thanks, Trevor. So that's it's fun to see that, and really I like championing, like being behind people who are doing that themselves, and like, yes, this is awesome. Or even just the like the ninjas from the Foosh ninjas, and like all that stuff, articulated icons. It's fun to be able to just see the process and support those people in the community, and I'm all for that type of stuff. But yeah. Is that the accessories pack? The hand?
Articulated icons.
Yeah.
They're having a huge sale right now.
Oh, that's right. There you go. We got the
nice.
The credits.
Shout out.
I only remember seeing this because someone posted it recently, and they were pointing out how Adam has his name on here multiple times. Adam Van Wickler. Design. Foosh LLC.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this is the arms pack.
Nice.
So yeah, I got in on this Kickstarter. I think that was my first one. I missed Plunderlings, and then I'm just like, wait, I should really look into more of these things. So I did get into Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. Did you guys get in?
Yep.
I didn't get in on those. I think the only other one that's not like Rumble Society or that whole thing is Mythic Legions. I don't have like a whole lot of those, but I do pick up like just a few of them. I picked up the horse recently. That's incredible. Like the sculpt on that, everything looks so good.
Every time when I see Trevor's photos of Legion stuff, I'm like,
he shoots those so well.
I really want those.
I'm trying to think like what else there is that's kind of like an original like kind of IP thing. But yeah, I would love to see more companies like do that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think that's like, do you guys have a favorite line currently? Because I think Rumble Society and that stuff is like the thing that gets me the most excited. The figure qualities are good. So like I look forward to, just the stuff that they come out, even if I don't purchase like every single one, like the Death Brokers or whatever, isn't necessarily one I want to pick up. But I think just, again, seeing something that's like new, not like, the same old IPs done over and over again, maybe like a better or different version of them.
Yeah.
I like seeing like the new stuff. So that's just me personally.
It's kind of tough because like I already have to buy 4 Ninja Turtles, but then like if another brand goes to do it, and another brand goes to do it, it's like how do I choose which one that I really
I don't think you do.
Jason's got a smirk. He's just like, uh-oh.
You don't choose. You just
Jason
buy
feels
everything.
attacked.
It's a problem. It's a problem. Yeah, I feel like you're talking about me.
Well, like how do you choose for your turtle stuff, or you don't and you just buy it all?
I don't
little
really.
bit
I'm
of
not buying the
both.
Playmate stuff personally.
Yeah.
It's not really doing much for me. But the NECA, well, I mean, what's great is because they have the license on different parts of the Turtles IP, right?
Mhm.
So I'm all in on Super 7. I mean, they got me. They're beautiful. So I've got the first 2 waves. I've got the other 2 waves on pre-order. I think the 3rd one or the 5th one as well. Yeah, those are awesome. They're exactly like the best versions of the Playmates toys updated
Without being the Playmates toys.
without being the Playmates toys, but having all the extra articulation. And you just like when you have Brian on, if anybody hasn't seen that interview, it's so good. But seeing how he, his motto is like, man, I'm making the toy that I want. And so you're talking about like having the weapons, right? He's like, well, we have to have the weapons need to be in like color, like multicolor,
Right.
But we also have to pack in a second set of weapons, just like they did in the
original
Playmates
screw.
toys. Yeah, all on the sprues, right? So like that attention to detail, I think is something that I am in love with that line. And they're completely unique. They're completely different from the cartoon line and obviously the movie line. And so with NECA having those are great to have too. So I'm collecting all 3 of those. And yeah, that Leo, he's so good.
I have the Playmates-esque head sculpt on.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I like those.
And yeah, they give you a modern one or an alternate portrait that still looks still within the look of that figure.
Yeah.
But I also love the NECA movie turtles. So I was having this conversation last night. It's like seems like Playmates with the master license makes the least desirable turtles that I want.
Right?
Like they keep repackaging the same repainting, and it's not just that they're using parts for this and this and that. It's a straight up repackage. 20th anniversary, 25th anniversary. Here it is in a turtle van. Here it is in a pizza box or some kind of box like that. And it's the same figures.
Yeah.
And
so I know people have probably seen these already, but it just the wings, the way they apply the paint and deco on the wings is the same. The colors are pretty darn close, and really accurate. But then, like for Bebop, you've got all this sculpt detail that you never see because it's all one color.
Right.
So he's got like this leg brace on. He's got stitches on the back.
Yeah, he's got the Forrest Gump knee brace.
Yeah, exactly. And so that compared to their version where they update it and they add all that detail. I mean, there's just something really awesome about that. It just brings out so much more, I guess, respect for the original.
Kyle is in the chat. He says, "Happy you like them, Jason." Kyle works on the.
Yeah, dude. I absolutely love this line. I can't say enough about it.
But he also says Leo is the lamest turtle. Wait till you guys get Mikey and Donnie.
Yeah.
Let's chat. Let's chat. Who is the lamest turtle?
The lamest in terms of, I mean, I guess so because he's just like
I think Leo.
Straight-laced.
He's a square.
He's a square. I actually have Raph. I haven't opened him yet.
I like Leo as a kid because of the blue and the 2 swords. But then as I got older, I didn't like him as much because I thought he was boring.
I still have about 12 boxes from unboxing last week.
Oh, just on the floor?
And I told Brian because it's just like, dude, I opened one of your figures and it's 4 things. You got a tray.
I love that.
You got the shipper, the sleeve, and everything.
I'm okay with that. Again, I think that's one thing. Richie and I, we've actually talked about working on some of our own little projects. And the one thing is like designers, we're really inspired by the packaging, the experience of like opening it. And that's like with the Super 7 stuff. I love that you've got the shipper and then you've got the actual slip cover.
Right.
And then you've got the figure inside the box, and you've got the beautiful illustration around it, and like all the details, but you can clearly see the figure.
It's details, and then they put like attention to detail with everything. They know like if you're paying a premium, it's the Ultimates figure. Like they want every aspect of it to be on point for you.
Absolutely.
Let me find this Casey Jones.
Oh,
what's up, Alex?
This too, I was thinking about unboxing the Lion-O.
Nice.
But these, I can't say enough good things about the Ultimates line. It's crazy. It brings back all the memories that I have collecting them. I mean, I remember getting a lot of these figures. So as soon as they start announcing like other ones, that I like, Slash. I totally remember Slash was one of the like Slash and Triceraton. I remember when those hit and you see them on the back of the cards. You're like, oh, those guys look really cool. I can't wait. So every release, every tease that we see of the classic like Playmates, I'm just like, oh yeah, gotta get it. I gotta get it. So
Alex, if you're still here, what am I searching for on Walmart.com to find this? Is this the Neca event at Walmart?
Raph is my spirit animal. I love that. Mikey was my favorite.
Mikey was my favorite. I
like Donnie. I think I like Donnie. Like his
Donnie's
personality.
Great. Donnie's great.
And then as I got older, I loved Raph's sarcasm. So
yeah, I like Raph too.
Some of the I went back and purchased like the first 3 seasons and just kind of been slowly going through them. Some of it for just specifically like the details or the
is it watchable?
Easter eggs. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, your voice went really high there.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. You know what you're getting. So I mean, it's silly, but it's fun to see like all those little Easter eggs and deep dive like stuff that they pack in. Like, there's Pigeon Pete, or there's whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
there's that adult-related joke.
April O'Neil and Casey Jones Farm 2-pack. Is that listed? But
item number. Here we go. 4
1 2
Wait, which one?
2.
Oh snap!
New.
April.
Nope.
Ooh.
Bust. Because you're in Canada.
No.
I'm on Walmart.com. Stop discriminating.
I'm not discriminating. I'm just saying they don't treat you guys right the way they should.
Oh, true. Hasbro Pulse website. Pure disrespect.
412176.
Assuming it's an unmasked Casey. That makes sense. And then since they've got the exclusive April, you would think that with that body, they would have another reason to make multiple versions of her to get the most out of that sculpt.
It's funny on the Toy Migos, they like if a drop happens as they're live, they'll go and like pre-order.
That's awesome.
Like I'm doing it on screen now.
These guys are hardcore. Yeah. Love them.
No, I'm not going to order it right now. How do you feel about those NECA elbows though, and the NECA knees on April? I feel like those are a little unsightly.
Well, you saw they updated the new Casey, the unmasked one. They went back from 2 points on the elbow to 1. So it looks a little better. I don't know if they're planning on changing the April or not, but honestly, man, it's a toy. I mean, I know that there's different ways. Like do you want articulation, or do you want the look of the sculpt? So.
Yeah, I'd say NECA is pretty good about having a good balance of both, like aesthetic and articulation. But yeah, if they're trying to go with super articulation it's like gonna be ugly, probably.
I'm okay with NECA making it look better because I know like there's some things that a NECA won't do, and there's some things I don't want my NECA to do because I don't want it to break.
Right. Makes sense. As far as like the, I was telling you up front, like I loved He-Man as a kid, and I had a ton of figures. I ended up just selling them like in a garage sale because most of them just falling apart. But these are like amazing. When the Super 7 had the license and they created these figures.
I didn't know you picked those up, Jace. Yeah. Nice.
I had a little help, but
after all that, there's no picture.
Oh, but there you go. You got the listing.
Oh, nice.
There you go. 412176. $50.
So are we supposed
seems
to all go
reasonable.
pre-order this right now, or what's going on here?
Dude. Yeah, I guess you could. Okay, that's an exclusive right there. Thanks for the heads up.
Oh, I had it, dude. So if I go into Streamlabs, if I switch my whole system out of StreamYard, which is what we're using right now, and I go into Streamlabs, I'll try to make like a live news ticker where if there's new toy news, I'll just have it flash up on the screen and just throw it up there.
That's pretty cool.
Just have it scroll across the bottom. Oh, Finkster1229 got it already. Thank you.
Really? Oh man.
Thank you, Alex.
All right. Well, it's time to call it a night.
I'm gonna send you the link.
Did you guys get the April?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yeah. Were you able to get the signature series edition, or did you go for that one?
I missed out on that. The signature one sold out.
That's the one where I ordered with international, and I had no issues, and that's why I knew like what NECA was capable of. Their website, like I don't have any issues until it was just that one today. And you know what? It ended up working out, so it's fine. I'm not gonna.
I could say that one went super smooth. The April. I mean, obviously there were some limitations on how many of the signatures. I think there's like 2,000 edition. So once they're gone, they're gone. But I snagged one of those, and then also a couple of the regular ones because I knew there were some friends of mine who were looking. But I also got to work on some of those, some of the video a little bit, which is kind of fun. So,
oh yeah,
Nice.
Yeah,
sweet.
it was cool.
Your movie tour music pack. What was it called? The Turtles one.
Oh, the Mutagen.
Is that 1 year old? Is it like SDCC?
I think it is. It wasn't for SDCC, was it? I thought it was just like a Target, or maybe they just had to.
It
release
was
to
because we
Target.
didn't have SDCC last year.
That's right, and Target was the only one who was gonna pick it up.
As much as I used to, and I don't mind dating myself. As much as I used to listen to that cassette back then, I'm not feeling the look of those turtles, and I don't
either. But that's why
It
I
looks
think
so goofy.
that's why they're so good, because they're terrible. Like I honestly, when this whole thing came out and they did the tour, I was like, that's the dumbest thing ever. They look ridiculous.
I had to get them too, though.
But I just think, again, going back to, which is, good or bad, picking up these things because I think they could do a lot of interesting, like created a lot of interesting shots.
Yeah.
I think that, and also just like kind of fear of missing out, honestly, was kind of part of it too. But I need to open that.
I'm so proud of myself for not getting those death brokers today because I know I wanted it for FOMO, but I'm just like, no, Kevin, 265. You just dropped thing today. Like I have other uses for that money right now.
I did that with the last con exclusive at Mezco, and it was the gold ninja, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
You bought that with FOMO?
Yeah, because I was like, man, everybody's getting it. You guys were like, oh, did you guys pick it up? It's
enabling.
Like, oh, I guess I better get it, and I picked it up along with a ninja warrior to go with it. And I'm like, man, I'm not going to do anything with this. After I got it, I was like, man, that was a lot of money to not be excited about.
Is it because it doesn't drive you as far as like a nostalgia point? You know what I mean? Like trying to recreate something, or do you just like, because it's a Gomez, like the character is kind of more unknown? Is it not as like motivating or inspiring for you to kind of come up with a shot for it?
Maybe not because it's unknown, but just I guess with the limited time that I have to actually shoot or do that, there's other things that I'd rather do first. And I think a lot of it too is honestly the way I've kind of built my audience. The stuff honestly, Star Wars is like probably the biggest thing. So anytime I do Turtles or even some Marvel stuff, it doesn't get as much traction. And so that's kind of a really stupid reason to not do it. But I like kind of looking back, I realize that's another reason why I haven't shot as much. And I'm not as passionate about it than say like probably Star Wars. But that's really kind of shifted over time. And now I'm really more interested in like, hey, what's a really fun concept, and whatever line that might work with would be fun. So
is that a dilemma that you two find yourself in all the time? It's like, what do I shoot that, really will get a response, get some engagement, or I just think it's really cool, and I like this toy, and I have this cool idea. Like, is there delicate balance of something like that?
Yeah, I think it definitely depends. I mean, obviously, if you want the most reach out of something,
Yeah.
you would choose characters, or like, I guess I should say, like the ones that perform the best, or the ones that more people can relate to. Like, for
Mhm.
instance, because Endgame was such a, or like just Infinity War, Endgame, Thanos, like super popular. Literally everyone probably knew about them, even like outside of your like nerd circle, like people just being fans of the MCU, watching those movies.
Yeah.
Like a shot with Thanos will probably perform better than a shot with like Gomez, right? Because like Gomez isn't something that's relatable in that way to like people who aren't in the toy community.
Yeah.
Right.
Um,
Why is this cockroach in a long
What-
jacket or something like that? Or
But it
Yeah.
also, I mean, for people who aren't aware, it also is like, what is that? It makes you stop. So kind of on the flip side of that, oh, I've seen a picture of Thanos before. Okay, pass. But what is this roach thing? So I think there's a kind of a balance. But for me, I think it's more of also like efficiency, because sometimes there'll be shots that I have an idea or concept for, like the next one that I'm going to post. I had a really like a fun idea, and I'm going to do it, and I want to make sure that one, the time I put, like the investment of time I put into these shots, I want to make sure that they have potential of doing well. And just because of, we're just busy with everything. And so I'm kind of like balancing different things. And so for me, it's like, if I'm going to spend the time to do it, I want to make sure that I'm trying to either make this shot something I'm really proud of, and or something that would be well received, like if it's funny or something like that, versus just taking a picture and posting something that's a recreation.
okay.
So I think it's also just like a challenge for me too, because like we were talking about earlier, just doing something new, something different, something that would be funny or inspiring. That's kind of what my motivation is, I guess, currently.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like conceptual shots make a little bit more of an impact in that way. Maybe because if not everyone is like doing that kind of toy photography, I think yeah. Because if you're seeing a bunch of people trying to shoot like super realistic, or you kind of see like similar types of just poses or whatever, you kind of get used to, some of that kind of imagery, I guess, just overall, whether you're conscious of it or not. And so when something else comes out that's just different, I guess it kind of like has a little bit more stopping power because of it. I don't know. I mean,
It's hard,
I
right?
don't know how you guys feel
Instagram
about
is
that,
literally
yeah.
just someone going like this.
It really is.
What's going to get
Mhm.
them to stop on your image and then look at your caption to see what it really is, right? And then and furthermore expand, read more, and see what else is under
swipe
there.
or-
Yeah,
right.
it's it's an attention grabber. It's really got to jump out at them. But being, I would say, accomplished photographers. I'm not saying this is the end. There's obviously a lots more stuff that you guys are going to do in the future. What's something that you want to do? Something that you want to do that you feel like you haven't had time to try it yet, or just that not necessarily photography, or something to do with your photography from a different perspective, from a different angle.
Well, I know, I'm going to speak for Richie as well. Kind of we alluded to it a little earlier on. There's a couple things. So we want to like create stuff like products or things like that are just the fun. I love the stuff that you've created, like the shirts. Those are just brilliant. I remember when you first announced those, like the Sentinel and all that. Like, man, that's awesome. And so we've got stuff like that in the works. And so I'm excited about potentially doing that. And also, as just a designer, like creating those types of products and that experience of having something tangible to open. We were really drawn to that. So that's something. But then also just getting into more of this type of content where we're jumping on and having interviews with people. I mean, we're doing it already, like on IG, and there's so much potential in being able to share like our knowledge with people, also to just get a sense of like the community at large and what people are interested in talking about. And I think that's where I want to go. But continue to shoot, but there's something about the engagement with people in the community that really gets me excited outside of like just shooting. So
Yeah.
that's for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Richie, did he fully speak for you, or do you have
Yeah.
something else?
No, that's completely opposite of what I was going to say, actually.
Talk. Just kidding.
No. Yeah, no, I mean, there's definitely aspects of just being in this community that is super inspiring. Obviously, like people making their own like figures, doing
Yeah.
their own brands, all that kind of stuff is just, it's super cool. And I think, yeah, I would personally want to make like my own toy, whether it's more of an art toy, designer toy type of vibe, or you know, like an action figure of a character or something like that would be really, really cool to kind of learn that process and see that figure that, you know, you thought of kind of come to life in that way. I think just kind of, if you like having a mascot, like I'm going to point back to Mezco, but just in general, like with the Gomez, right? He started as a mascot, but to see that thing fully realized into the 112th collective line, like that must have been super cool, you know, just like as the founder, someone to see something like that, but also see other people enjoying the product that you made, I think is another side of it. But yeah, like Jason was saying, we do talk about like what are some cool things that we can make, because we're both passionate about whether it's like a print or, you know, anything essentially with like packaging, like considering all those types of things. But yeah, I think the thing that makes the most sense is like a figure. So I think for me, yeah, that's definitely somewhere I would want to go.
Awesome.
But then on the photography side of things, it'd be cool to still work with like, you know, certain companies and doing brand work, or I don't know. I haven't really like fully thought it out yet, but yeah, definitely still have like a lot of room to still grow and do stuff in that avenue as well.
Hell
So,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, the photography stuff, you've been nailing it. That's why I think you guys aren't limited to that. I wanted to know like where do you see it going?
stop motion or maybe something. Yeah. It's a lot of potential there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, well, I know like Richie, you have prints. You sometimes have limited runs of your prints and like different forms. You have that mini rug. That's super cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That you have. So it's like, you know, different ideas like that. And it sounds like you have you and Jason have more plans for things like that here and there, which is great. I love seeing people making new stuff, making stuff that just goes with toys. You know, sometimes the inspiration for a lot of people to do this stuff is seeing a gap in the market, an opportunity where you don't have this, you don't have that. I got into 3D printing because I couldn't find certain props and I couldn't find a dumpster, 1/12 scale dumpster.
Right.
I didn't want to buy a wrestling one for $30-$40.
Yeah.
So the public libraries here, when the world was normal, they had a 3D printer there. So cool. That's how I first got into it. I took a quick like course there, learned how to use the software. It was kind of like learning a camera, learning manual on your camera. There's so many different aspects that affect your final outputted product. So that was a lot of fun. And then that's how I got into and just making my own stuff, and printing things and, you know, stuff like that. It's like you said, the shirts, I've been doing it for like almost 2 years, but along the way, I've gone through a lot of different projects because, you know, like I said, that's why we all do a lot of different things, right? Yeah. We all make different things. Even the enablers, they all, you know, Prime makes arcades. Mike makes the dioramas, crazy stuff. Mario, amazing, like poser, photographer, videographer, like making customs. So, and, you know, we just come on, we end up talking about the same stuff all the time. It's just, there's a lot of stuff to do in this hobby.
Yeah, there's so much crossover, and I think that's the potential, what I think is really exciting. You can get into doing something really specific if it's like modeling and selling your 3D models for people to print, or you know, like Josh doing the cabinets and stuff like that. Like there's so much potential in, you know, starting your own business, and, you know, I don't know, it's really cool, it's exciting, but also sometimes it can be a little overwhelming or intimidating because there's so many routes, like for me, that I like to explore, you know?
Yeah.
And so like really just focusing like, okay, what's going to bring me the most joy? What am I going to be passionate about doing and continuing to move forward, like for like the next year or something that will just bring something new, that I'm learning something and challenging myself. And I think that's where I'm headed, and also doing like educational type stuff. So I actually have taught at like the university level before,
Oh wow.
like last year, and teaching design and animation, and doing that with students and seeing their growth over the course of a semester, and seeing the potential of someone who's just now learning certain programs and seeing what they can do within a couple of months. That's just super inspiring to be able to be the one to say, hey, you don't have to read this entire manual to understand how to use Photoshop. Like, here's a couple of really simple things that we can start with to get you to this point where you can create something, feel confident. And then as you move forward, you can pick up all these like tools and understand what, you know, certain things do. But really just empowering people to be able to create. I really am. That's my focus for this next, like the rest of the year.
That's
is trying to
awesome.
come up with that type of content. So
And you could do like an audiobook too.
just give me some stuff to read. I'll read it.
Some voiceover work.
For sure.
Yeah, it's fun. It's all fun to do. And it, like I said, honestly, if it weren't for the community, then this just shooting toys wouldn't be as enjoyable as it was like starting off with. But it's really the friendships and the opportunities like here, just, you know, we wouldn't probably maybe not have ever crossed paths. And so to be able to sit here and talk for, you know, almost 3 hours, it's been really like a joy. And it's fun to share this with you guys, and also everybody who's jumped in and out with the chat. And it's just, there's something about it that's really, really welcoming, and just is a really cool place to kind of be and kind of feel a part of.
It can be somebody who I've known for a while, somebody new, and we'll hop on chat, and then next thing you know, like you said, it's almost 3 hours.
I know, right?
Because it's just about toys. It's something that you enjoy, that's fun. You can just talk about it for, you know, as long as you want.
Right.
I don't know. It feels like everything's already mostly been opened. You want to wrap it up?
Stuff if we need
Give
to.
it like another 5-10 minutes. If you have, if people in the chat have any questions.
Yeah, any questions? I'd love to answer some.
Any questions?
Give us some questions.
If you guys have anything you want to plug, talk about the Thursday, your Thursday chats.
Richie, hit him with that info.
Just follow me. Don't follow Jason.
Yeah, you don't need to follow me.
No, Jason hosts the lives on Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, we just discuss about, you know, different things with toy photography, different types of things with just things that you guys are collecting, that we're collecting. We even do like show and tells. We kind of started doing that recently, which has been a lot of fun, seeing what you guys like picking up and what you guys have on your shelves and stuff like that. So
we did a trivia
we
giveaway too. That was pretty fun.
Oh yeah.
People like
trivia
stuff.
Nice.
for sure.
The tour, the studio tour, or studio, the collection tours. We did that one episode, and that people ate that up. It was incredible, man.
That was fun.
Some of the collections were just insane, like mind blowing. That was fun too. So we're kind of experimenting to see what people enjoy, and kind of just doing things different. And we're just really like establishing like a pattern, so then people know on Thursdays you can watch Unboxing Thursdays, and you can also stop by and see what we're doing. So yeah, it's all fun, man. It's
Made 1979 custom says like TMNT dios.
Ooh,
nice.
I want some custom TMNT dios, so I might have to hit you up. I need to start shooting mine a little bit more. There's no shame in plugs, man.
I'm literally telling these guys to plug what they have going on. So
yeah, it's plug time, right?
You know, IG websites are all in the video description right here, at Noserain, at Work More or Less, in your respective URLs and link trees and whatnot. That's really cool. And you know, I'm looking forward to what you guys have going on what you have planned, what you're scheming and planning and plotting to take over the industry.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see.
Well, with two creative people putting their minds together, if Richie wants to get into toys and you got more video stuff going, it's like it's limitless, and I want to see what's going on when it all goes down. So,
well, I'm cool with the first thing that we do. We'll hit you up. We'll send you some stuff
for sure.
Whoa, okay, that's cool.
So, hopefully,
as long as you give us shout outs on like the rest of your lives for the rest of your life.
Every platform you have to shout us out.
Absolutely. You know what? That's kind of the thing too. Like I'll unbox it on here. I want to show people cool stuff. That's kind of the deal.
We're actually super excited about that, and we should be able to. I think we'll be able to do it before. Yeah, in the fall we should be able to have something. I think so.
Yeah, but, I was going to say, do you have a timeline? But fall is going to be here in no time.
Mm-hmm. Maybe winter, late fall.
Okay, sorry.
I don't know. It kind of depends.
It'll take closer to winter.
It'll take a little time just for production and stuff, but it'll be fun, I think. So
that's very cool to hear. Why don't you save it till like the last two and a half after 2.5 hours to mention
Well, you have a few days left, so if you need to bring us back on just to fill some time, then maybe that we could do that. But
you want to, yeah, if you want to come on and talk about it,
the tease. I don't think we're ready for that quite yet, but we'll see.
All right, let me know if you need the world tour or some sort of media tour. I'm here. I love chatting with you guys. Thank you so much for sharing your toys, your journey. Just two awesome guys plus me and everyone.
Awesome
I hope.
Guy, by the way,
I hope you guys check out Jason and Richee's work. I'm also very excited to finally learn what Noserain means, and it's kind of cool that nose is Korean for
cool.
Well, sorry, ko is Korean for nose.
Yeah, and then rain is P, so it's Kobe basically.
Right.
Yeah,
I've been trying to learn a little bit of Korean, and I'm starting with numbers, and I don't know what the hell's going on. And I spoke about this
any
last
language.
Week. No, but it's 1 to 99. You use one system for counting, and then
bro, I don't even know how to count to 99 in
it's
Korean.
Crazy. I think I might be able to go to 10, but that's about it. We do have a late-ish question. Any advice for those that are starting out in toy photography?
From Courtney. I think the biggest thing is just shoot what you love. If you've got it, just shoot it. Don't worry about having all the right equipment, having a DSLR. But if you're shooting something you're passionate about, then you're going to have fun. If you are shooting something you're like, oh, people really like Star Wars or Marvel or Gomez or Turtles or whatever it is, but you aren't passionate about it, it will show in your work. You might still be able to make a nice photo from it, but it's not going to be as enjoyable. So the things that you really are passionate about, focus on that and get into it. And then it'll just kind of take you places. And if you're like, oh, this is really cool, I want to experiment with a fog machine. I want to experiment with fireworks. I want to experiment with different lights, upgrade some lights and see what I can do with that. Just get started and don't feel intimidated or you have to know a certain technique or have the right tools. You can do so much with just your phone in your camera there, and then apps that you can download for free. You can do whatever you want with that, and then just kind of build into it. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's great advice from Jason right there. He took everything. No,
you concur. Yeah.
I think for me personally, just based off of my personal experience, I think looking at someone's work and then if there's an artist out there that you really like their style of work, how they shoot, all that kind of stuff, it would be motivating to learn that way and jump in that way. For me, that's kind of how I started, because I felt like it was easier to kind of jump in with a certain look and then try to either attempt to achieve that look or just I think for me that was definitely easier for, again, I think the gear that I had was similar to the style that I wanted to shoot. And so
Mhm.
it's not always about the gear, but yeah, if you do have something that is similar to someone else's style, I guess it does help. But for yeah, I think that, and of course, like if there is like if you like turtles, it's definitely going to be easier to shoot turtles than like something else that someone else is shooting that you don't really care about.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Because like you can what I notice is like you can't just, it's not the first pose or the first shot that you compose that's your final product.
Mhm.
When you do toy photography, you do your pose, you have your characters set up, and then you take it from this angle, that doesn't work, and you switch it around, and you have to move your subject around. And I think if it's a subject that you're passionate about, about, it's kind of natural how you like, oh, you know what, maybe I'll have this character do this and this character switch it around that way, and it just kind of evolves from there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I-
and I would even say like I don't think it's super. I've said this before, but like it's not important for somebody to feel like they have to create their own style to start. I don't think that's. I think that's more limiting, if anything. That's not going to motivate you. You're going to feel like you can't start until you have something figured out.
Yep.
Is not really the way to learn. So yeah, I think looking at different styles that you want to achieve eventually or put as like a part of your toolkit, and then kind of continue to compound on top of that by learning other stuff. Yeah, just do that. Like that would be like my advice, because I think again, creating your own style is so overrated as an artist in the beginning, but later on, as you learn the techniques, you figure out like what you like, that essentially will turn into like your style, I guess. So
yeah, that's for sure. And that's same with like design too. Like as designers, illustrators, you struggle with that a lot, especially like beginning. You're like, oh, I really would need to define my style.
yeah.
But I think just like what Richie said, just over the years, I've realized that your style it will become itself. And you kind of follow things that you're passionate about or things that draw your eye, and you like maybe dabble in that style, this style, that. And eventually, it's weird because a lot of people, you can flip through and you can say, oh, that's a Richie shot, right? Just because you recognize there's just signature things with like how he lights, and some of it may be like intangible as far as how you explain like why that's a Richie shot, but you see it. No, I mean seriously, I can flip through most of my feed, and without reading names, I can see and generally say, oh, I know this is going to be XYZ or whoever, just because the nature of how they edit, and it becomes their own style, whether they've chosen to create that style or not. So yeah, just do it and your style will kind of come. So
I like looking at something that I really like and trying to break it down and figure out how it was accomplished.
oh yeah,
Trying to find the technique, what was done to understand it,
yeah,
and
Exactly.
how it was accomplished.
that's
Yeah.
why I really love the BTS stuff that people are posting. It's just so fun to see how people get creative. And yeah, Richie, I mean, you gotta, for me, I think you were one that started really sharing that, and like kind of calling out like with graphics and like, hey, here's the light that I used, here's the figure, whatever.
Yes, I remember. That's what it was. You would have your photo, and then you would flip, and then it was like this light thing over here, and then you really laid it out for people as like a blueprint for how it would look.
I copied him.
Yeah, it was like like I realized over time it was a lot of time investment to kind of do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I did enjoy for that short time period kind of going in depth a little bit more.
You don't
Right.
post anymore.
Whereas what?
You don't post photos anymore, do you?
No, I've been so inconsistent with photos for like the past year, or maybe even year and a half now. But yeah, I think that aspect is really fun, because I think another part of like my post is like trying to provide some value, and which is why like having that behind the scenes type of stuff is a way for people to learn about the setups and things like that. And yeah, going in depth with like words. I don't know. I might consider even just like doing videos and kind of speaking about certain parts, because maybe that might be a better way to kind of do it more quickly and not spend too much time on it, but
Smart.
Yeah, I think
I remember those, and that was one of the things that really stood out. The breakdowns of your setups. I remember that being really cool, and I'm like, that I want to do something like that. And then you're right. I'm like, that sounds like a lot of work, so I'm not going to do
Yeah.
that.
And then you see the creative chip. He does a lot of YouTube content
yes.
stuff, and then I see his stuff, and I'm like, dude, I bet that took forever to create like that video, behind the scenes video, and all that stuff. But I mean, if you love doing that, it's like it really doesn't feel like work, right?
Yeah.
So
it wouldn't feel laborious at all.
Right. So I guess that means I really didn't love making those toasts. No.
By my own logic.
By my own logic, guys.
Yeah.
I just exposed myself.
Lawyered yourself.
That's okay. We still like you.
But yeah, I forgot where that initially started. Were you saying like behind the scenes, Jason? Just in general?
Yeah. Just it was inspiring to me. I stole your idea, and
you didn't give me credit.
I told you.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, it's cool because that behind the scenes stuff really helps people out, and it's nice to see just people share. So.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to step up your game or get more ideas, get more insight, follow these two on Instagram. They will be doing their Thursday chats weekly at 10 Eastern.
Yes.
Yep.
9 Central. And
7 Pacific.
7 Pacific
Mountain.
Every week.
Yeah.
And my turn to plug, suckers.
So what are you doing? Okay, so you've got these. What are you doing in between?
I don't know. I got some reviews. I got some more stuff to build. Monday, I've got the Bad Batch. Tomorrow's the new episode of the Bad Batch, so I'll be watching that. I think I'm going to be working on a review tomorrow, putting it out, and then Saturday, Sunday. Monday is Bad Batch. Tuesday, I don't know what the heck is going on yet. Like, I have something for it. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Wednesday, there's going to be another Hasbro Fan First Marvel event, but it's Wednesday, so I usually do a recap of that with my friends Troy and Jason. Thursday, next Thursday, a week from today, will be Toy Migos, and they are live right now with Mr. Brian Flynn. Go check them out right after this. If YouTube had a raid function like Twitch, I would be doing that right now. But go check out Toy Migos right after this, everyone. After you subscribe to their channel. Thumbs up. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
leave a like if you haven't, guys.
Yeah.
But I do, Jason, Richie, I want to thank you both very much. It's been an awesome chat, and it's a fair chunk of your day. But thank you. Thank you for everyone who is watching on Twitch and on YouTube right now. We good? Anything else? We good?
Yeah.
I mean,
just thank you for inviting us on, man.
Yeah, absolutely. This
really
has been
enjoy the conversation.
Yeah, it's been so fun to chat with you and just kind of honestly just take some time and just relax,
hang out.
Yeah,
I'm very happy to chat with you both and to meet you. And you know what? I'm sure it's less pressure for you. You don't have to be in charge of any of this.
Right.
You just sit back and open your stuff and enjoy it.
It is nice. Yeah. Anytime you need some filler, I think that Richie and I would be happy to just jump in.
Heck yeah, for sure.
You get to that last day, you're like, oh man,
I need someone
to do.
Oh yeah, you can pre-order your t-shirt.
There you go.
Toyingaround.ca. This is open until August 8th. Your Devourer of Worlds t-shirt.
Boom.
So good.
On the website. And that will be my plug. Thank you everyone for watching. Have a great night. Enjoy your toys and keep toying around.
Yeah.
Peace.
See you guys.
That's fun.